What is going down, family? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Man, I'm sorry I'm reaching a little bit late right now, but my boy had a tough time last night. But you know what? It's all good in the hood. We're still here. We still made it in the morning, even though... Oh my goodness, but what's up, family? Good to see everybody here present and alive, of course. So what is up, Sandman? Good to see you here. The war goes. What's up, Teaser? How you doing, man? From a sunny day in Spain. I love to hear it, man. That's so exciting, dude. I love it. What's up, WB? Good to see you here. And moderator Sebastian Lib, never the same without you, my dude. FNGR and UCAR, what's going down, man? I know that we put up a play yesterday for ticker symbol UCAR on the members server, right? The Arca Bulls Discord. So if you guys are not members just yet, consider clicking on the link in the description below, right, you guys? But yeah, we put that up yesterday, and the screen is about to show it to you, right? Just as soon as this video thing is done and over with, right? But yeah, it's looking like it caught the top side of the Arca's range, and also known as the invalidation range too. So please, feast your eyes on this play here, right? So this is essentially what we put up yesterday it could have been early this morning too, like 1 a.m., right? But yeah, so far so good. But we're gonna touch down on it, right? We want to see exactly what could be happening before we can actually make some rash decisions, right? Because if you were to enter exactly at this spot that I was talking about, right? So let's see, the low actually came down. Look, just look over here on the L, right? That L value is going to show you where that low is. So it's 690, right? So we're looking at a potential 691 entry. So ever so slightly just to the upside, right? We came down very close to that penny. But the price action is still fluctuating within that, right? If you're long the market right now, you should be up a cool 2.5%, maybe 3%, almost there, right? So and actually just changing right now, almost 3% now. Okay, you guys. So just kind of hold on just a sec, because we're gonna come and evaluate what's going on with this, right? We wanna see what the position is looking like. But let me continue saying hello to the team here, man. What is up, David? Good to see you here in the chat. Thank you so much for coming by. Hello from Wisconsin, right? Very cool, very cool. So now Timmy123 saying SONN. Yes, we have SONN up here. We're going to have to take a look at that as well. So now WB, yeah, of course, man. Let's go ahead and load that up. We have, let me see. I have a master layout here kind of ready for us to just pull up new tickers, right? Even though I'm opening up several iterations or instances of it, better said. It doesn't mean that I can't have it ready, right? So GRNQ is absolutely something we'll go over, my brother. Of course. Anything I can do to help, okay? So there it is. We'll go ahead and leave it here. Of course, we're going to leave it on the 12-hour too, or the daily, actually, since the market is open right now. And we have the benefit of seeing the current price action. Good price action, by the way. And another thing, you guys, yesterday... as I'm saying hello to the people here, right? Yesterday we talked about GTII potentially reaching a top side of about $1.02. So far, we've had just about $1, right? 99.99. Okay, so very, very interesting times here. I wish I could have been a little more exact on that, and I will evaluate. Why I ended up reaching that target why the 99.99 instead of the 102, right? So these are very critical things to me, right? And then I study it, and I'll really pay attention to it. right? But yeah, GTII is looking very good. It's green on the day, so everything's looking. I mean, there was a gap down in even the broader markets. I'm gonna leave this here, and I don't know if you guys are watching Ape. But Ape just gapped up like crazy today, man. That thing literally just jumped to the moon. It's at 188 right now, and I think it closed yesterday at about 170. So huge. I was talking about a almost 20% jump, right? So very, very interesting times there, right? So we have Viri up too. We're going to be looking at a couple tickers that we've been covering, right? And I haven't been able to put up a couple of videos, but still, no problem, you guys. Let me continue here on the chat, right? So now, let's see. Joe, the man, the myth, the legend says, my friend, what's up, my dude? Good to see you here. Teaser is saying, would appreciate a quick look at COSM and Viri. Yes. In fact, this is the one that was supposed to be COSM. We already have an instance up of SONN, right? So yeah, we definitely need to give this a quick gander. So yeah, we'll look at this interesting price action reaching the support level that we were talking about, right? Could be touched again. We said that yesterday. We said that the potential of coming back down to this area is great, right? But we still have a few other support lines here that are particular to that demand zone that COSM tends to explode price action up from, right? So let's keep an eye on that as we go, okay? And now Hopium is in the chat right now saying, Arca, the most exhilarating analyst on YouTube. Dude, I was trying to read what you said right after that, and then I like got really close to the screen. And I'm like, oh my God. I started laughing because you're saying, it's get it, bro. Dude, I started dying when I saw that. I know you probably didn't say it like that in that tone of voice, right? But I died. Oh, man, because some of my friends do the same thing, man. Samantha H, what's up, moderator Samantha? Good to see you here. Saying hello to everybody. How kind of you. And I hope we can get those moves right here. Monster Mike, good to see you step into the chat. I see the neon green down there, my brother. Always good to see you here. So now, Snowdrifter, what is up, my brother? Saying good morning to all. I love it, man. Tyron, what's up? Man, look at that. Everybody's saying morning to everybody. How kind is this, man? This is it's really good, man, to have a good company like this, right? Man, yesterday, you have no idea the shilling that happened yesterday, dude. Freaking GTII has its first green day in like literally 84 and 3/4 years, and the hate is real. Getting the shills on overtime right now, brothers. So funny. Of course. Sebastian Lim saying we should be taking a look at RCRT as well. Yes, we're gonna have to go ahead and take a peep at that, right? Oh man, trying to fail our triangle here. Don't you do that. Don't you fail that line right there. All right, we'll go ahead and keep an eye on RCRT. This is literally failing one of those inflection points. Actually, we just gathered it back, right? 2351 within that range again. Man, don't scare me like that, son. Yeah, we'll see it. We'll keep an eye on that though. So now Julian saying DBMM. Yo, that's another ticker that people have been raving about, right? So, and isn't that one part of the shorts thing, like where the shorts are kind of ganging up on that? DBMM. Like a heavily shorted stock. Is this considered to be a meme stock, by the way? Damn, 2 zeros and 7. That would be, this thing can get mangled easily, right? So actually, we failed this. I don't even know when we looked at this here, right? But we'll go ahead and see what's going on with this, guys. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I always put up like a GTII video, but that's not to say that I'm not trying to pretend here that I know exactly what's going to happen with it. No one knows, right? But what I do have to say is that when I chart GTII, it's not only a challenge for me, but it's also kind of like a trainer for me too. And what I mean by trainer is it's kind of like if you're say for example you're a motocross racer, right? And you race every weekend against the best in the world, right? And motocross a dirt bike. Right, so in this case, I like to train my stock trading in the rain, right, in the mud, in the deepest of the most difficult conditions, and I do have to compare that to GTII because GTII really is that tough, man. GTII is tough to chart. right? Okay, so yeah, DBMM is heavily shorted. Okay, so we'll keep an eye on it for sure. We'll look at it. All right, so that's what I'm trying to say, you guys. So when I chart GTII, it's not only because I have like requests coming in for it, right? But it's also because I'm able to train under heavy conditions, under unidealistic conditions, and that's the way to build discipline, right, you guys? So and that's the way to understand when price action can reach, I guess, more of a random walk than normal. And I do have to admit, GTII definitely has that, right? So I don't trade GTII, right? And I know that a lot of people actually started coming out very clean on Twitter yesterday, telling me that they were trading GTII based on some calls that I put out. And I really wish that not to be the truth, right? Because it's a very difficult stock to trade. But still, if you have actually gained, that's awesome. Congratulations to you guys. But right, we always want to encourage paper trading and simulator trading. We want to keep retail safe. We want to train as much as we can before we expose ourselves to the markets in real life cash, right, you guys? Anyway, let's continue on the chat right here and see who else is coming through, right? The Bled saying, yo, Arca, what's up, man? Good to see you here. Timmy123, what's up, what's up? Oh, my goodness, man. Yes, let's see. You've been buying, Samantha? That's good. That's good. That's good. And yeah, happy summer is definitely on its way right now. So SONN is climbing right now. Yeah, we're going to have to take a look at this one right now. Good, good, good. Awesome, awesome stuff, right? We were talking about the potential of gaining this bottom side as our demand zone before we can actually move on to the upside, right? So this is very good. In fact, on a 2-hour time frame, SONN is going to make a silver cross here. So that's a very good thing too. The silver cross happens when the actually, you know what? It was going to make the inverse of the silver cross. This is going to reject it. As long as we still keep that yellow line on top, then the silver cross, which happened, let's see, wow, in the 2-hour time frame, it happened way down here. Wow, it's, yeah, right over here. This is the crossing of the EMA 21 over the EMA 55 orange line, right? So it's still maintaining it. Very, very curious. Okay, so that was, man, that's kind of a saving grace right now. I mean, it is a saving grace, but we also have resistance of 2 major moving averages now in the 2-hour. Okay, so keep an eye on that stuff, guys. This is looking very good for SONN, and I'm not going to say that we knew the whole time, of course, we're going to use this area as bounds. We're going to take profit over there. No, it's a probabilities games, right? So we have to practice as such, and be reactive to the current market conditions, right? So this is good. This is good. Okay, you guys. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on SONN2 as it is COSM as it is reaching those targets that we were talking about, right? So we'll keep those in mind. Please remember that the major targets to look at too for COSM is this major demand zone between 297 and 301. That, historically speaking, has led price action to some very, very interesting levels, right? And I'm talking about upside thrusts. Let's see, how long do we have for this 4-hour candle to close? 56 minutes and 20 seconds for this 4-hour candle to close. This would be printing a bearish engulfing, where the forward candle would be engulfing in red the prior green candle. Okay, when that happens, usually some negative price action tends to come. What I do express all the time, though, is that candle analysis on the shorter time frames isn't the best. It has a lesser strike rate, but still, we have to consider it, right? So if we do print a bearish formation here, then the bottom side of our current range and or this gap here between 297 and 301 could be kind of looked at again, right? The price action may actually want to come and review that one more time before an explosion, right? But we'll see, guys. We'll take a look at this, okay? There are metrics here that COSM has to provide for us, even in the bigger time frame, right? But I'm not sure that I want to talk to you guys about other time frames right now, as it's looking a little scary in some others, right? But this has a serious chance to recover here now. All right, so we'll see what today has to say, and hopefully tomorrow, before we can actually introduce some different type of analysis on this, right? So yeah, let's go ahead and continue on to this. And yeah, I do hear that WB saying that some people are just mean, and I agree, man. It's just wow. But I'm not going to be the one to sit on the sidelines, right? I'm not and actually I should, right? As a professional, I should not kind of respond to those things, as like some people here are telling me that these shills are actually getting paid for my response. That's what I told the guy. Like I told the guy yesterday, what are you getting paid? $10, $15 for every response I make, telling me that I'm a shitty trader? Like, are you sure you're not the shitty trader? For getting the crappy trader for accepting $10 or $15 rather than trading your capital? Oh my goodness, man. So yeah, you know what I mean? I like to switch the table on that sometimes, right? So Daniel saying, what's up with MGRX? That is Mango, right? Let's load it up on the charts too, you guys. We'll go ahead and take a look at that one as well. So let me leave it right up here, right? Especially that Mayo guy. My goodness, man. That dude and his sister are ridiculous. So oh man, that girl came on strong with all kinds of sexist remarks, man. She was like, I don't need no cheerleader telling me what I'm holding. I know what I'm holding, right? And she said she said literally this, you know, GTII is a pussy-free zone. I'm like, what? Oh my goodness, man. Who do you talk to your parents with that tongue, young lady? At some point, it started just getting a little too obvious, right? That some people are really just out to get others, and for a very, 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 very cheap price. Oh my goodness, guys! All right, MGRX, right? We have man, that was a huge bear trap. My goodness, man! This bear trap, why? Actually, yeah, that's right. It would be a bear trap because we would suggest. Let's see. The price action was set to come down to about 142. The price action didn't make it to 142. The price action made it to a low of 148 before it rejected, right? So yeah, that's interesting here, and we're still moving to the upside. So this is looking incredibly bullish. 4-hour SMA 200 is starting the curve to the upside too, so we'll look at that one as well. Not a problem. So yeah, another one that's kind of pushing to the upside is GRNQ. So this is Green Pro Capital, right? Let's look at this. Is the daily time frame that we're looking at, right? This candle here is from today. This one here from yesterday topped out at about 247. So first of all, what is 247, right? Let's go ahead and jot that down just like this. So we have 247 wicked all the way up here. Clean resistance from these prior highs, right? So this is all a very relevant resistance. Now, historically speaking, I don't think we ever. Oh yeah, we did one more time here, but of course it came down to. Let's see, we're literally at that support right now. The price action at $2.14 presently, right? GRNQ is sitting at the support of this candle from what date is this? Let me see. The 12th of March, 2020. And the low of this candle is also, you can see it right on top. It's on the L, right? Let's see. I hate it when I block it. Let me just do that instead. It is a low of $2.10. So yeah, we're bouncing right within that support there. Let me see. Oh yeah, that was the only other time, you guys. So this is a very important support. This is now a critical or an inflection point to the upside and to the downside. So the fact is that we already bounced to the upside and faced a resistance at 247, right? It's only natural for us to come back and validate, I'm talking about relevant supports. And this is a conversion of a resistance into a support right now. So it's okay if the price action bounces below that $2.10 threshold, but closing the daily candle here, or closing even a minimum 4-hour candle, would result in a failure, and we would be set to come back and test the 180 support, right? But as of right now, the price action is still kind of rejecting that inflection zone, and we're bouncing from it. Okay, so another thing to look at here is that there is a very interesting a set of price action here. So you can see that we're clean getting this up run. We're getting those reaccumulation cycles just like this, right? So these are kind of like descending channels, shorter time frame descending channels, right? So we have that upside here. There was another iteration here where that same thing happened in another situation here, right? So sorry, I meant to make this more along the lines of this right here, right? And then this would essentially come up to the top here, and then again, right? This is that same pattern. Very much, I'd say shorter in time frame, of course, but it's still doing that same thing. So what is that formation though, right? Like what could it be? Well, let's go ahead and see if we can make our imaginations run a little bit right now. So I think it may be a channel, but it's also looking a little bit like a bearish formation, right? But we can take a look at a few possibilities. Okay, so in fact it is kind of a Yeah, I would have to favor this as maybe a bearish formation, okay? And I will show you why. I'm not going to use the channel tool. I'm going to use this tool instead. And from the green, I'm going to use this candle, right? I'm going to use this candle right here, the green one instead of the red one, right? The red one sometimes kind of tops out, or a wick like this tops out because that's FOMO, right? So sometimes the psychological up thrust is not what I want to look at. It's actually the more... I would say the more organic price action, right? So in this case, we can see a pretty clean connection between this contact point and this one here, which is marking the resistance that we faced today at about 247, yesterday at 247, right? So now, the reason I'm saying it could be a bearish formation is because of this here. So this would be the bottom side of that formation here, and there are a couple of ways to look at it, right? So first of all, yes, the obvious way would be to make the contact down here. But just like I said before, you know, that psychological high can also be presented towards the downside too. FOMO happens to the downside as well. And in fact, panic selling also happens to the downside. So in that case, we can take into consideration this wick here, right? So just like this, it's slightly different, right? But it's still within the cards, right? So we'll go ahead and just put the price action or the implied trajectory just like this. Okay, so we can see that we're probably riding this rising wedge, which is usually a pretty bearish formation, but not yet. In fact, this thing is playing an ABCD strategy right now, and what I mean by that is actually that upon testing this top side here, we started to make this descent here. This would be A, and now B is essentially taking profit. I'm not saying that this is what's happening, but sometimes there is the potential of coming back down to test the bottom side of support, which would be indicating a potential drop to 184. Remember that we're looking at the probabilities here. This is not exactly what's going to happen, but just you know, keep that in mind, right? So if that's the case, then we may be able to validate this in the shorter time frame. So let's see momentum versus volatility starting on the 30-minute, right? This profile here. So this profile is actually showing an upside right now, so that's very good. All right, let's see the hourly time frame. Does it have an upside? No, it has a downside. So this cycle may actually be restarting once again, but the higher time frames may be finishing their downside. So let's continue. Bi-hourly showing that downside, right? That's what we're talking about. 4 hours should be a little more substantial to the downside. Here we go. We have a downside at critical volatility as well. So now this is where it starts getting a little juicy though. 4-hour RSI indicating a potential support at the SMA 14 down here. Your simple moving average 14 period. In other words, 14-day simple moving average is this pink line. Your cyan line or your baby blue line, this is your RSI signal. Okay, so the signal usually, or it can use the SMA 14 as support, as resistance as well. And it can use it for all kinds of things. That's why it's there. It's there for us to kind of use. Check this out here. You see how much resistance we were using that SMA 14 before we finally broke out of it, right? And we failed it again. And then resistance. We come back up and now, nope, not yet. Resistance, and finally we're breaking outside of it now. It's only natural for us to break outside of it and come back to test it as a viable support. Once we do get that validation, which is sometimes like what I say, on a 4-hour closing period, we want to see that we can get that support and then continue on to the upside. So if the 4-hour time frame is the sweet spot for this, then we should be looking at other signs that can lead price action to the upside soon-ish. And there are. In fact, all of these candles are indicating that there is weakness towards the downside. Anytime that the price action dips like this, you can see that the bulls are taking over any single opportunity that's being presented. And it's very curious that this 4-hour candle wicked down to close this. I mean, the gap has already been closed, right? But it came all the way back down here to a low of, let's measure it. So that's $2 flat, and this top side right here is $2 top. So we're using this. We're using gaps as supports and resistances as well. Okay, when you see wicks down like this, that usually means that the bulls are not willing to take price action to the downside. All right, so keep your eyes on this. GRNQ could be making a very short-term downside, but I can see here that the downside would be in respects to about $2 and about 191. That's about as low as I see this going before it actually bounces and actually continues. right? As it looks like the 30-minute time frame is already building that up thrust that's going to bleed into the hourly, which would then from the hourly bleed into the bi-hourly. What I do have to say is that if that doesn't happen, then yeah, we have to look at some further targets to the downside, and that would be particular to about this is the bottom. This is the 191 that I'm talking about right now, right? So that's going to be your invalidation zone. Closing a bi-hourly 4-hour candle below 191 would indicate an introduction of the lower valuation of about 181 to about 178. Keep an eye on that, okay? And then this thing could actually probably touch again to our $2.50 zone, potential 264 again. This is going to be a tough resistance to get over, but it's happening. We just have to kind of watch it here, right? So that's kind of what I'm seeing for GRNQ. So good deal there. Let's go ahead and take a look at. Yeah, man, that thing is showing some strength right now, but I do think. Particular to the shorter time frames, if the 30-minute does push a little bit harder, yeah, we can resist at anywhere between 236 and 264, right? But it's likely too that we have faced the high of day at that 228 top. So let's just keep an eye on it though, okay? So let's go ahead and see what other tickers we have in line too, right? We want to see a few of these things. First of all, FNGR was another one that we were looking at yesterday, right? And we were talking about a potential upside target to the likes of about $3.11, and that was due to the breakout out of this formation here, which is a symmetrical triangle, right? So we have a triangle here that can give us a price objective by taking a trend line from the top side of the triangle to the very lower end of the triangle, right? So then you apply that to the supposed area of breakout, and the price action takes you to this point here. But since we broke out from this area here, we can make an adjustment. So we can, put the trend line here, and then that's indicating that we would have reached a psychological target of about 325. The opening of this candle here is actually 325. Right, so that's very curious that we are using that target in some form. So I mean, of course, guys, it's gonna kind of deviate, or it's gonna vary when you're looking at a very. I mean, this to be honest with you, this was a very premature break to the upside. I wouldn't have expected it myself. I was in fact thinking that we could have broke out on Friday. I even said it out loud. I was not thinking that we could actually make this break today, but in fact it did, and it met the upside target too. So if this is going to consider continuing to the downside here, we are at resistance, right? So let's kind of look at that potential, and it would be a very limited downside, right? So let me see this on the 4-hour, because the EMA 21 is indicating on the bi-hourly that would be our major support, and we did use it already once, just shy of it, of course, but we did use it. Okay, so now let's look at the 4-hour time frame, and even the. Man, could it have floored already? It doesn't actually. Guys, remember this. I often say that we need to come back and validate our current breaks of resistances and conversions into support, right? I often say that. But I often do say that price action doesn't have to do anything, right? It's going to be random. It's going to do what it's going to do. But the probabilities usually lay on retesting your breaks of resistances and conversions into support. So this is the reason why I'm saying that we may come back here today to the area of about $2.41, since we are at a critical resistance, and one that we were looking at yesterday, right, per this gap here. So if that's the case, you guys, we're gonna have to kind of deal with that. But the overall bias for FNGR is still looking very positive. Okay, my invalidation zone is actually this here. Okay, so any closure, I'm talking about 4 hours. Yeah, 4 hour on a closing basis. Any 4-hour candle closing below 202 would introduce a downside. Okay, so keep an eye on that target. We're way above that right now. In fact, closing a 4-hour candle beneath $2.61 can reintroduce the $2.12 zone again. Okay, so watch out with that. Okay, the $2.10 zone. Okay, so keep your eye on FNGR. It's moving okay. So now coming back to ticker symbol SONN, man, we are really trying to combat SMA, I'm sorry, the EMA 21 and the 55, right? We got that SMA 50 resistance here. So bulls don't appear to be done here, okay, you guys? And the reason why I can say this is because, I mean, take a quick look at this. We have major momentum coming in on the bi-hourly, which only tells me that the hourly time frame and the 30 are pumping. So the hourly time frame, yeah, huge upside here in the bullish control zone, expanding volatility violently, and the 30-minute time frame is now showing a little bit of a downside with expanding volatility. Okay, so, and using the 200-day simple moving average on the 30-minute as a resistance, it's, man, with pressure now bleeding into the upper time frames. Let's look at the 4-hour now, if it's reactive to that upside. There you go. Look at the 4-hour. It's starting to get it right now. So the bi-hourly time frame is kind of responsible to kind of distribute its pressure to the 4-hour and to the 6-hour, and the 4-hour is definitely getting it. The 6-hour already shows signs of life. This is highly likely going to reach the target of about 77.48 again, and potentially by the end of the day today. Okay, so we'll see that. We'll keep an eye on that, but it's looking very bullish even still, okay? I know that this is, I know that we ended up coming down pretty far here, but just know that we're still, even still, creating a series of higher lows and higher highs, okay? So, and once we reach that higher low, you know what happens, right? We go to the higher high. All right, so this is essentially what's happening there, right? So my battle, what is up, man? Good to see you. Good to see you here, my brother. Always good, always good. So let me go ahead and refer here to the chat and see what else is going down. Sorry, guys, I know I can disappear sometimes into the price action, right? I just want to make sure that you guys understand and see what could be happening, right? Those higher probabilities. So let's see. Where was I? Let's see. Haters don't make money, says the Bled. My goodness, man, I couldn't agree with you more. And yeah, we've already seen SONN, but we're gonna continue watching it. It's no problem, you guys, right? So SONN is one of those plays that we've been kind of eyeballing for some time now, right? So just, yeah, keep an eye on those targets. But right now, the good thing is that we are in the process of converting that EMA 21 into support right here on the 6-hour time frame. So the further we start converting these moving averages in the upper time frame, so we're converting it into, in the 6-hour here. We're in the process of doing it in the bi-hourly. So the more time frames we acquire and we, kind of combat that resistance, that would be a better shot for us to the upside as we have a more and more, relevant area of support, being that EMA 21 in several time frames, right? So keep an eye on your cascading effect, right? So let's go back here to the chart and see what's up. I haven't actually put down my thoughts on that DBMM just yet, right? So yeah, let's go ahead and look at that real quick. DBMM, what we want to notice here is its overall trajectory. Like, what is it doing, right? Why is this even making any type of run? Why is it, right? We want to understand the behavior behind the asset. So what I don't like already is that this thing has quite literally zeroed. This is almost a rug. I mean, it is a rug pull, right? So, and it didn't happen too long ago. In fact, this happened in 2019. And we've had several instances to where there's been several shakeouts, right? This is another one right here to 3 zeros and 1. You can't see it there, but it's there, right? There's another iteration right over here where it touched all the way back down to what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to literally 1 Satoshi. Man, wow. Anyway, so yeah, let's go ahead and kind of identify this trend, right? So I think that this could be some type of ascending channel or ascending something, right? So in respects to this right here, right? So let me see if we have enough contact points to make this actually viable. And I think it actually could be right at about here. Actually, yeah, there is. Okay, so yeah, we could be riding an ascending channel here, and it's definitely upper time frame, so maybe 5-day. So yeah, this is kind of what I'm looking at here, right? GTBP, of course, yes, we have to take a look at that as well. Damn it, oh yeah, we have it right here, right? So yeah, okay, yeah, we will definitely take a look at it. Let me go back to DBMM real quick and see, right? So since we know that we are presently making this this crazy parallel, you know what, this, oh, I see it. It's this candle here, okay, and that marks off. That kind of answers the questions for all the rest of the trend now. Okay, there we go. So contact here, That's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see some type of relevant contact. Like, why did we face these downsides here, right? So, yeah, very likely this is just has an overall range, right? So, now the question is, are we building a formation here that could be bullish in a sense? And are we retracing right now because there is a support to touch on a breakout? So is this a 5-day breakout play now? Let's see if we can validate that, okay? So the way we do that is we match the downside, right? The lowest part of the wick here on the 5-day. Try to put the trend line against that and see if any other of the other candles match. They do. This one right over here, right? This one right over here, this one. So there's a lot of relevant price action within that. So now we can see if this could have been a type of triangle breakout, right? Something along the lines of this. And I know I have several contact points like this, right? If I touch this, these three in particular, right? And also another one down here. So I guess arguably this could be still a channel, right? But no problem. It's just within the range. If it's converging ever so slightly, so be it, right? So we could be in the process of breaking out of this, and I'm not gonna lie, it could be a little premature as well. So ticker symbol VIRI taking a dive. No way. Is it really? Yeah, it's actually falling beneath the EMA 21. Okay, so relevant supports, just real quick, just so that we know. Okay, keep your eyes on 143 to about 149. Those are the relevant supports if we are to reach that low. Okay, keep that in mind. 143 to corrected 141 to about 150. There we go. Okay, keep an eye on that target. Okay, let me come back here to what was that ticker again that I was looking? DBMM. Okay, so yeah, this could be a breakout play that we're looking at in the macro time frame. So if that's the case, then this could be the validation, right? Or the conversion of resistance into now a support, and then the bounce to the upside could be happening, right? So let's go ahead and see if this matches our thesis, or if we can build a thesis around this. So let's go. 30-minute immediate short-term time frame. What are we doing from the very, very depths of the tiny time frames, right? So we have already an up thrust here on the EMA 3 and the SMA 14, increasing volatility. That's good. Let's see what the hourly has to say. So the hourly is also starting to react to that price action on the 30-minute. Okay, so I do have to admit, though, this is not looking as bullish as I would like it to be, but it could be just reaccumulating. Let's see the bi-hourly time frame. Okay, we have an upside on the bi-hourly while increasing volatility as well. That's a good sign. And we're also crossing upside of the SMA 14 too. And I mean, we're reaching critical lows and bear pressure on the MACD. So let's see the 4 hour. Okay, the 4 hour is showing a slight upside as well while increasing volatility too. The problem here is that we do have a resistance if we were to turn around in the 4 hour, and that resistance I would say would be relevant to the area of 2083. Okay, so that's very, very likely we could resist there if the price action continues. The EMA 55 is located right at that target too. All right, so eyeball that target in the event we start reversing quickly. That would be a zone of resistance before we can come back and test our present highs as a support, right? So I would say 2075 to the current price action of 2073 if we are to touch the 83 zone, the 83 zone, right? So 6 hour time frame also indicating that potential touch there too. This is literally where the EMA 21 and the EMA 55 are located. All right, so next time frame, let's see the 8 hour. The 8 hour time frame is actually making a very bullish hammer candle after a downtrend, right? So this could indicate a potential correction. Okay, so if this is going to be that candle to introduce the V-shaped recovery, don't expect it to be immediate, as we are still under some bear control. Okay, so we have to practice a lot of discretion here and be super careful as to how to gain entry, right? Because usually aggressive bulls would gain their entry right here. Okay, so yeah, keep an eye on that. I do see DBMM potentially making a top side of about 2083 today, right? But a retracement would be likely after that. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at SONN making a move again. There we go, guys. Check it out. This is what we were waiting for, right? So now the bi-hourly time frame has converted the EMA 21 and the EMA 55 into areas of support, right? We want to make sure that we can get as many time frames as possible with that support conversion. Now look at this, right? So we're at the 4 hour. We're now combating the EMA 21 on the 4 hour. We need to get above that. Okay. Very also tested that support. Okay, that's very good. Oh my goodness. And also check it out here. 4-hour time frame SMA 14 giving us that resistance touch. Very, very likely could be the resistance of the EMA 21. But SONN looking mighty, mighty powerful. And I'm still going to stick by it, guys. There is a chance here that we can actually reach the top side of the chop zone here at 77.48. So, but we have to keep a deep eye on this, right? 4-hour time frame, even more reactive towards the immediate short-term time frame, suggesting that upside in stochastic momentum, right? Good. We'll keep an eye on this, all right, you guys. Now, I know that I still have a few tickers to look at, right? Let's see RCRT real quick. It's still within that resistance range. In fact, we have it tried to break out of it. Okay, yeah, this is a good sign, right? We're showing strength. Right now we're in the conversion of the SMA 200 and the support on the bi-hourly. All right, good deal there. MGRX, let's see what it's doing. MGRX finding support from that EMA 21. Guys, the 21 exponential moving average in the recent times has been incredibly important. We're getting a huge bounce to the upside right now. Actually, are we? We are at the high of day. Yeah, this is definitely it, and we're testing the previous day high. So this is usually a zone to where we start to find a pullback. But if we convert the prior day high into a support, then we can continue on to the upside here. And some of those targets may be very interesting, specifically. Okay, here's another reason why we're resisting, right? The current price action is topped out at about 175. We have a gap right over here, right? So that gap is going to be somewhat of an obstacle for us to kind of get over. Let's mark it down. Let's keep it in line, right? Just like this here, and let's get rid of this this box here. This is our relevant area of resistance. If we are to close upside of the previous day high, which is 174, convert that into a support, we can see targets upwards of about 187. Okay, so let's keep an eye on that. MGRX is looking not bad whatsoever. So now I remember that somebody was talking about ticker symbol VIRI making kind of a breakdown, right, guys? In fact, VIRI, if we just expand this just a little bit, this is the daily time frame validation of the EMA 21, right? So oftentimes when we break outside on a silver cross, we would tend to use that EMA 21 sometimes as a valid area of support, right? So if we are failing that SMA 10, this is where the EMA 21 comes in to kind of save the day, right? So we have to be reactive over what's happening here. But I do have to point out one more thing though, okay? There is a slight chance that we may actually get a continuation to the downside a little deeper than what we thought. And I'm talking about specifically to the EMA 55, but more than likely the SMA 50. Why? Why am I suggesting that? Well, there is a golden cross. Remember, we spoke about this golden cross, and at a certain point, we would get a rally from it, and then we would get a pullback to test that SMA 50. We could be doing that. I spoke about this about a week ago. All right, so there is a potential that we can face that downside here, okay? You guys, specifically to the zone of about 120 to 123, right? So people were asking me, when are we going to get that 121? Well, it's looking a little more likely now, but we always have to be conscious over, or we have to be aware over the price action in the immediate short-term time frames, okay, you guys? So the immediate short-term is going to tell us if we're going to go, trending to the downside or to the upside. What I can see, and it's very obvious here, is that on the immediate short-term time frame, 30-minute, we're already kind of getting overextended into the oversold percentile of the RSI. Okay, so usually when we get into oversold territory, bulls start to line up and start to find whatever relevant support it is that we're going to load up and take the price action to the upside, right? But there is a narrative here, and there is a strategy, and the strategy is the golden cross strategy, which is the daily time frame SMA 50 crossing over the 200-day simple moving average, right? So we have to keep an eye on those things. Usually we retrace back and test it, right? Let's see the hourly time frame. Hourly time frame still suggesting a downside here as well. Okay, so if we do continue on to the upside, it may be short-lived, and it could be looked at on the 12-hour, or man, look at this. We have supports. We have relevant supports everywhere. So this is very nice. Okay, and this is actually the first time that we are supporting the EMA 55 on the 8-hour. So that's it's a little scary too, right? So the 12-hour time frame, we want to see where we can find the SMA 14 below the signal line, right? We want to see where we can find support. So let's go up to a higher time frame. Particular to, is it the 5-day? Yeah, well, damn it, that sucks. Okay, so the 5-day time frame is suggesting that pullback, and this would be the support touch right down here. So if we were to kind of look at the space between the RSI signal and the SMA 14, considering that it is a 5-day macro time frame, then yeah, I would honestly have to suggest or favor the side of about $1.10 to about $1.22, literally the same area that we spoke about earlier. And in fact, that is the 5-day time frame giving us high relevance to it, right? So let's just let's keep an eye on the price action, guys, because it doesn't always have to happen, right? Because sometimes price action would reject earlier in order for, some bulls could be a little feeling like they're missing out in action, right? But that support that I'm looking at is particular to the space between the SMA 10 and the EMA 21 and the top side of this candle here. Okay, so notice that there is an inflection range here. Okay, so that's literally the closing of this candle here, the wick low of this candle here. Lots of relevance within that area there. Okay, you guys, so that's if we do get a further capitulation, then rest assured that we can find a very nice bounce from this demand here, as very likely we are actually in this. Yeah, remember, guys, that I was talking to you about a potential top side of around 206, and we would just get a retracement from there, right? So the good thing is that we just closed the prior 5-day iteration, right? Look at this, 4-day and 5 hours. So yesterday we closed this 5-day, and it's a good thing because we closed it in the green. We closed it right here at about 193, and the current price action has 4 days and 5 hours. This is, yes, it's a bearish engulfing, but it's not. It has to close first to validate that, and that's forever from now. That is not to guarantee that it's going to actually happen, okay, you guys? So ticker symbol VIRI could be reaccumulating right now before a continuation to the upside. Now, this is the inflection zone here, okay? Invalidations would start happening with any daily closure beneath the zone of about $1.10. That would actually pressure price action to the downside some more, okay? So this is the inflection zone for now. I don't see it as likely that we can actually penetrate this. In fact, I'm even doubting that we can reach all the way down there, but it is relevant for us to look at, okay, you guys? So keep your eyes on that, and I think we'll be okay. All right, so now SONN, going back to that ticker, we're still getting a pump to the upside. Check it out. We are absolutely in the process of converting all of the moving averages that we've missed, and we're starting to get them, right, you guys? So this is particular to the shorter time frames, showing that thrust that we spoke about, right? 30-minute into the hourly of stochastic momentum, bi-hourly showing huge pressure to the upside, contracting volatility. This is great stuff, you guys. So we have a support of resistance, coming up at 73.41, temporary resistance. If we are going to honor that resistance, then expect a pullback to around 70.30 before validating this as another area of support, and then the 77.48 would be the top side. Okay, you guys, so keep an eye on this because this would be our next strongest resistance to look at. But my eyes are still favoring 77.48 for the day today. Okay, you guys, so very, very good stuff. RCRT still actually in the process of converting that SMA 200 into support. Let's look at GTII. GTII pushing into 96 cents right now. That's very, very bullish. That means that we've actually been we've been trying to push on that dollar. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this has tried to push into let's see. That's 96 cent high. This is the one that went up to the 99.99. And it's currently building a little, this could be either a bull flag in a higher time frame or a type of symmetrical triangle in the lower time frames. So continuation formations are actually building on this right now. So yeah, this is GTII expressing some powers, expressing some trend right now. Okay, you guys, so this is very good. We saw a potential top side today of about 102. But of course, you know, there's going to be other relevant resistances, specifically that 99.99 top that we got. Check out the 2.272 at 96.24. Of course, just ever so slightly to the upside of that, resist from it, and then we can come back and validate this and this area here as support, because that would be the 2.618 at 88.59. The bottom side here came in to about 91.11. So everything's rhyming geometrically and psychologically. Okay, so yeah, yesterday, guys, if you I'm gonna encourage this to you guys here. If you have not seen the video that I put out yesterday on GTII, I would encourage you to watch it. Not only for whatever's happening today, but because the thesis is so aggressive in forward thinking and imagination, right? So this is oftentimes how I find some edge. I have to try to force myself into being imaginative and creative with what the price action could potentially be doing, right? And in doing so, I am able to find higher probability targets, or higher probability resistances or supports, right? So I would encourage, especially my master's students that are in here, please consider watching that thread, because this is essentially what we have learned. The only thing that you're missing there is your footprint model. That would be the volatility versus momentum, but I still mentioned it, and there is another time frame that I need to backtest here, and that's particularly to the 6-hour time frame, volatility versus momentum. There is a setup happening here, and it's starting to expand. Right, I can just show you real quick. Right, so we're starting to expand from critical contraction, and so there we go. Yeah, we're starting to expand from critical contraction here, and we're expanding very violently. So this is showing a lot of promise, right? Another thing we can do is pull up the stochastic momentum. This is immediately a play. Right, so I just didn't have the time to backtest this yesterday. I don't have a contraction to expansion volatility test. I only have expansion to contraction. Okay, so but this here, you guys, this is an official signal fired, and that signal was fired right down here at the opening of this candle, the tiny little green one there. So that was the firing of the signal at 78.50. Price action has already reached almost $1. So this is showing yet again that the volatility versus momentum footprint model that I've put together here is showing validity with price action as well. There's nothing I can do. There's nothing that they can do. There's nothing that literally the existence of humanity can do to escape not being shown in volatility versus momentum. Guys, this is literally a footprint model. The footprint model the title of it comes from you stepping in a pile of mud and not leaving a footprint there. It's virtually impossible to do that. You're not going to do that unless you have like some type of jetpack or something, right? If it's all mud and it's surrounding you for miles and miles, you're going to leave a footprint there, right? So this is why a lot of people find trouble into seeing how I'm able to view the markets, right? So this is how it works, you guys. I'm able to see it, and then higher probability targets come about from the mathematical backtest, right? So, away, what's up, man? Thank you so much. Thank you dude. That's incredibly kind of you, man. I appreciate you. My family appreciates you. That is incredible, my brother. Thank you. So SOUN, that's another ticker that we do have to look at, right? I'm not sure if we've actually missed a couple tickers here, but we still have to see COSM. We have to see COSM still. Right, so look at that. We got that bounce from the zone that we were speaking about. I'm not sure if that's going to actually hold up, but in the event where it doesn't hold up, remember, still 297 to 301 would be that zone. So, but actually 4-hour time frame, volatility versus momentum is actually showing positive. Ooh, okay. That means that the shorter time frames are pumping. Let's see the 30-minute. Okay, 30-minute upside, critical volatility, nice. Hourly time frame is not reactive to that just quite yet. And let's see the bi-hourly. Okay. Yeah, we need more of a push from the 30-minute time frame. This is nice, but I think the push is going to start happening when we clear 312. Okay, 312 breaking upside of that would introduce a little more volume. Okay, so I think that we should keep a close eye on this. But yeah, it's this is essentially starting consolidation, and I think it is in respects to kind of the conversion of support. I'm talking about not converting. I'm talking about converging. So converging the resistance of the moving average versus the area of support, right? So when we get that convergence there, price action tends to get squeezed above it, and then it turns that relevant moving average into a support. So those are again, that's just higher probability price action, right, you guys? So anyway, let's go ahead and come back to the chat and see what's going down, right? So thank you, my brother. So James is saying that I had a great GTII video. Absolutely appreciate you for watching it, my brother. Thank you. And that was you talking about SOUN at that. Let's pull it up. Let's see. So that's the AI Soundhound, right? So this is Man, they've been around for some time. Okay, yeah, this thing is absolutely meeting every target that we talked about, right? So we actually flashed a signal here, down here at around 330, or I think it may have been around here, actually, around 340. So we flashed a signal of a potential upside continuation and a breakout play. We have 3 targets to look at for SOUN, of which 2 have already been guessed correctly. Okay, so let me go ahead and introduce you to those, right? So remember, when you're looking at an ascending triangle, I oftentimes have, a resistance top, right? Just like I did for GTII in that monthly video that we were looking at, right? I don't have it here anymore. I don't have that thesis up, but it's okay. So yeah, we have 3 targets. The first one of which can be realized by taking a trend line from the supposed area of breakout, which was here. Right, so you take it just like this, right? Bottom side of the triangle, top side. You apply it to the breakout candle that we got, which is right over here, right? It doesn't matter because this is perfectly horizontal. Top side target suggestion, $4. What did we get? We ended up getting a top side of, let's see, 404. Particularly the first candle that we got, right? So it touched on our target perfectly, and then it retraced like expected, and it reaccumulated like expected, right? And then this is where I said that we can actually potentially run to the next target, right? So bull set number 2. That was a target set to $4.29, and it was figured by taking a trend line from the center of the triangle to the very bottom side of the triangle. You apply it to that breakout zone. This is how we got the objective of 429, and price action has thus far reached top side of 443. So we are showing accuracy within our targets, and I still see a higher probability here for reaching 494 at the 2 spot 618. Okay, you guys, this is still within my radar. Okay, and in fact, there may be actually a pullback relatively soon, and I'd say that it could be starting now, but it's a very good pullback. We need it would be ideal for us to come back to 418. So 418 would be the 4 spot 618. I'm sorry, the 1 spot 618 Fibonacci ratio. That golden mean is absolutely important for us to validate a support before we can continue to the upside. Okay, so very likely, I'm not. Well, I'm just gonna say this blindly, but the high of day could be in. Okay, and then we can face potential a reaccumulation. It's happening every single step of the way. Right, so it's just gonna zigzag, guys. That usually happens. Okay, so yeah, that's essentially what I'm looking at for ticker symbol SOUN. Very impressive price action, but price action that we did imply, and that we did see days ahead. Okay, you guys. So keep your eyes on this. Those targets are still there, and we in fact got all the entry points that we talked about. I love it. I love it. The play is still happening as we looked at. Right. So congratulations to those who did. Long the SOUN. I know a few people did, and in the shorter time frames, they did actually take some gains, right? Because from that entry point, let's just say that it was here, right? That was a top side of about a 17% move initially, right? So then from there, you're actually re-entering that support level, right? So or the reaccumulation level, which I suggested to be at the bottom side of this target here, 372. If you did do that and take profit at about 429, then you're 15.5% up already. Okay, again, so marking now 32% up on 2 days. Okay, you guys, this is how it happens, right? You take profits at the resistances, re-long, compound, right? Take that gain from the next area of relevant support, run it to the next target. This is literally trend trading. Okay, you guys, as long as you know the trajectory of the price action, you will be invincible. Okay, you guys, so that's essentially how to maybe consider looking at the market, short-term gains, right? Get very good stuff to consider for price action, right, you guys? So anyway, let's go ahead and come back to the chat and see what's going down, right? So as I know that I have several tickers that I haven't looked at, right? Cryptic Trader saying FNGR. Let's go ahead and look at FNGR real quick. So we were talking about the potential of coming back down to all the way to this zone here, but I'm not sure that can actually, maybe, since the RSI 6 hour is actually now below the SMA 14. Let's see the 8 hour. 8 hour time frame indicating a very limited downside here. SMA 14 at 63 spot 29%. Let's speculate here. Why and where? Oh, there it is. Damn. That could, okay, so this is indicating a potential retracement back to this zone here. of about 277. I don't think we can go lower than that, but I'll give you a range. Okay, so if we go lower than that 277, then 261 would be the next relevant area, and it looks like we already kind of went to that anyway, right? So please remember that I was speaking of a very particular situation here. I spoke of a temporary failure of this ascending channel. We regained the inside of the channel, and now we have tested officially the very bottom side of that channel. Okay, so if we are in that process of regaining entry into this channel here, then the upside targets in the next days are absolutely relevant. I would say upwards of about, I'd say deep 390, maybe 397, right around there, 395. So keep your eyes on this, but we still have a little bit more of reaccumulation. Potential retouch of 277 in the short term before a rejection and continuation to the upside. We're starting a new set of fractals, by the way. Okay, so let me just get rid of this now since we already used it for that price action to the upside. Let me also block the visibility for the moving averages and show you something, right? So this is potentially what we're in the process of building. This fractal here could be happening yet again right here. Right, so this type of reaccumulation type of price action before we continue on to the upside. But do know that as the price action lifts, the frequency becomes tighter, meaning that since it's a lower price action, the frequency bandwidth is naturally going to be wider. As we start squeezing towards the upside into tighter frequencies, then that's going to be a shorter iteration before another upside can be introduced. Okay, so that's a little bit theoretical there, but it's just something that I've noticed, right? So upper targets indicating tighter and tighter frequencies, kind of like into the ones that, dogs can only hear. That's where price action just starts to show very small, very tiny micro time frames of reaccumulation periods before continuations to their upside. And if you look in their price action, trailing back to higher and higher time frames, you'll see that fractal could be repetitive, right? And I mean, essentially the entire market spectrum is fractal, right? So as it is governed by the rules of machines and algorithms, right? So this is why I also practice algorithmic trading as well. I want to speak their language. I want to make sure that I can gain the edge that they have for us, for retail, because we don't have that. Right, so I can be the turnaround for that. Okay, you guys, no problem. I'm studying it. I'm still going at it. Right, you guys. So just cross your fingers for your boy Arca here. Anyway, let's go ahead and go back to the chat here and see what else we have. Right, so got you cryptic and TTG saying, I'm sorry, I missed a couple up here. Right, so do you think downside is done on SONN? I'm missing, unfortunately. See, that's what I meant. We have a lot of people waiting for SONN to potentially make those drops. Right, so the high of day I think is already in. If we do get a pullback, I would look at a potential target of about 70 cents, right? So as we can very, very likely see a pullback to that area. But I mean, wow, man, everything is super pivoted towards the upside. Let me see the 15-minute time frame. Do we have any resistance on the 5? Actually, we do. Okay, the 5-minute time frame is suggesting a pullback to around 71.82. All right, so that would be my top side of a potential re-entry location. And if you do get a further downside from that, 71.82 to the EMA 21 on the 5-minute time frame, 69.33, or just say 70 cents. Right, that's what we spoke about in the 4-hour, in the bi-hourly time frame. So as we are about to find support from the SMA 14 right here. Okay, we can get that support and bounce to the upside. So keep an eye on that. All right, you guys, but yeah, that's SONN looking very, very juicy, right? So let's go ahead and continue on to here. So let's see, Destiny saying 190 in GTI on 190 still a long way. Yeah, I totally hear that. But look at this, my goodness, man, the bulls are not done. We're just at about 97 cents and holding that upside. This is where I'm telling you that we're building shorter time frame. Symmetrical triangle, some type of bull flag or something, right? Reaccumulation before a continuation to the upside. GTII looking very powerful. Good stuff, you guys. Good stuff. All right, so now let's continue on to here and see what else we have. So, ticker symbol Wolf. Yeah, let's go ahead and give Wolf a little bit of a look, right? So let's see what it's got. WULF. And this is, I remember yesterday I said ticker symbol like tickers like Riot, MARA, ticker symbol WULF. All of these are going to be moving to the upside as long as Bitcoin has its strength. And I honestly see Bitcoin reaching around $37,000 in the shorter time frame, maybe a week out. But it is in that trajectory, and it shows. It shows in these in the minor tickers, right? So in this case, we can actually see Wolf pulling back to the zone that we spoke of yesterday, right? So this is essentially the loading area that we were kind of looking at. So if we can get a loading zone right down here, I mean, we already got it at that EMA 9 at $1.59 and rejecting from it. So yeah, long entries would have been here, okay? Let's see. Yeah, SONN, new day. Really? New high of day? Oh yeah, it's wicking up there, right? 74.97. Man, yeah, still keep an eye on that, guys. I think 77.48 could be the top side for today. I think we have enough juice to reach that, okay? So anyway, let me go back to GTII here. Was it in GTII? Where was I? No. Where the hell was I? Wolf. There we go. So yeah, you guys. So I'm thinking that we can actually get a reaccumulation phase here. Okay, so this is the longs are going to start getting. Yeah, there we go. Thank you, the blood. The longs are going to start getting aggressive within this area here, because this would be the demand zone in the shorter time frame, right? So another thing that this is doing is actually breaking out of a channel on the 8-hour time frame and validating the support as we speak. Let me pull that drawing up for you now. Just like this here, right? We have that top side, and this would be our channel, our existing channel range. Right, so this is kind of what I'm talking about. If we are to face a further downside, guys, this is actually showing that it is possible, but I can't guarantee that whatsoever. We're actually getting a silver cross right now on the 8-hour time frame, right? So we're getting that. There is when that happens, I'm saying that we could also come back to validate that support, and that would be indicative of touching down to about 154 to around 150. Okay, so if that happens, now you know. Okay, now we have a potential target to where we can get long the market. Okay, you guys, so keep an eye on those targets there. So I'm just going to put a quick little line right here so that we know that this is an area that we're looking for as a potential lower target. All right, so yesterday we were talking about gaining entry from this position here at about 155, right? And we measured it to the upside of where I think resistance can happen over the next couple days, and that would be a clean 30% move to the upside. Okay, you guys, so this is looking very good. And especially if the price action comes back to reaccumulate at this zone again, I'm even considering getting long ticker symbol WULF. Okay, so it's looking very good. All right, you guys. So now let's look at the play here on ticker symbol UCAR. Right, so it's still actually lingering right around this area here. Right, but yeah, we suggested the potential, and yeah, what you're looking at here is actually the play that we put up on the Discord. Right, this is how I tend to put them up for the members. Right, so you can see exactly what exactly the paper trade that I want everybody to follow. Right, so let's we'll keep an eye on it. Right, we're still green on the day. We're still at about 3% up. Right, so if that's the case, then we have to try to find weakness, right? So if we do find weakness, then we may actually have to liquidate the position, get out. But remember that this may start turning around as the time progresses. Right now, we're looking at 8:57 a.m., so we're reaching that 9:30 a.m. threshold that I speak of where the algos change, right? So anything that's been bleeding throughout the day usually tends to recover by between 9:30 10:30. Okay, so keep an eye on that, all right, you guys? So let's come back to the chat and see what's going down, right? So, hey, how's it going, guys? So we're actually looking at Stick Vicious telling me about Lucy, but of course I need to take a look at AMC as well. Okay, you guys, just a moment. Let's see what AMC is doing, and in fact, I do have to pay some attention here to. Oh my goodness! Hold on, you guys. There we go. I do have to pay some attention to the TQQQ and the SPY. Okay, so, the SPY is at 435. No problem there. I know, actually, you know what? We still have to look at GTBP as well. In fact, I said to somebody that we would look at it. Right after I don't know what ticker. So GTBP. Let's look at it now. I don't want to upset anyone, right? I'm just totally forgetting. Okay, so 33. Okay, this is, guys, this is literally where I was speaking of that we could fit, figure or get some type of entry, right? So my bottom side target was to reach 33.06. Price action is at 33 right now. Okay, so this would be that long zone. And we're currently finding support from the 8-hour silver cross. This is what I mean, you guys. Sometimes we come back and test that silver cross to see if it's a viable cross, to see if it's actually bullish, right? So, yeah, no problem. We'll do it for sure, Destiny. And we'll also take a look at that other one, too, TTOO. All right, so, yeah, we have to see how the price action is going to react from this area here, because I do see a bounce potentially happening from this zone. It's okay if we actually wick down to around 32.07. We've seen a lot of wicks down to that zone there anyway, okay? So let's just keep an eye on this asset. I am waiting for this drop here. I forgot what I said in the video last night, but I think it may have been this, right? So we'll keep a close eye on it and monitor it as we go. Okay, you guys, so now let me go ahead and take a look at ticker symbol AMC real quick and see what the deal is here. But this is in bear control. And in the 4-hour time frame in particular, but could there be okay, if we still have a further downside to go, we may be at a floor right now, or the price action can still continue to 406. Okay, to 406. Why? Because we have a very relevant support touch over here from March 16th, 2023, where we capitulated straight to that target of about $4.06 before a bounce to the upside, and that was almost an immediate recovery, right? So definitely don't doubt that possibility. Okay, so let me see the bi-hourly time frame here, because we have those ladders, and we're increasing in the numbers, thus increasing the probabilities of bounce. So check a look at this. One wave, right? We have two wave. This is your 3 wave. This is your 4th wave. This is your 5th wave here. And now we're about to make the 6th wave. And this is where I'm thinking that we can potentially touch down at 406 and bounce to the upside. The probabilities of a bounce to the upside start increasing drastically when you start reaching the test or the wave or the ladder number 4. Right, so in that's why this ladder here. So you have 1, 2, 3, and this is 4. That's why this ladder is huge, because people are counting. People are counting on the fact that test number 4 could be the true breakout, but it's not yet. That's why number 5 is also exponentially bigger than test number 4. Naturally, test number 6, anything above 5, is going to be a pretty substantial move to the upside. Another indication that this could be finding that floor very soon is simply by looking at the size of your candles diminishing in size, right? So that's indicating some pressure being lost, right? So let's see. So you sold your AMC put, 50 strike contract, right, at $4.50 with an expiry of tomorrow. Oh, that was a day out expiry. Yeah, I mean, the price selling the put at, I mean, what is the difference percentage from here, right? So let's see. I would already be out. 1% is not going to change a lot for me, right? The only distance that I'm seeing as a benefit is you're getting an additional 5 cents. It doesn't matter. I would cover my put right now. And that's particular to me, okay? So don't ever feel like I'm actually telling you what to do, right? Do as you will, right? Because you know your own threshold of tolerance, right? But in this case, 5 cents away from my target, I'm covering, I'm getting out, right? Because this was, and I wouldn't marry the expiry date either. Who cares if it's for tomorrow? You have it because you want to lever in time, right? You don't want to have your theta increase. If you look at tomorrow, then you probably have a theta of maybe 4 cents. So that would be, or 0.004. So which it would introduce a $4 loss per contract by tomorrow. So don't do that. I wouldn't bank on your theta getting closer to tomorrow's expiry, and you have a higher chance of getting out with the contract at worthless. Okay, so you don't want to do that. If you're in the green now, get the hell out. But yeah, very, very good stuff. Good call on that, Destiny. So now let's see. Let's come back to the TTOO, right? That's another one that we need to look at. So holding SONN for let's see, for intraday 77 price target. Okay, just real quick, right before we go to that. We're getting validations right now in the 5-minute time frame. This is literally what I just spoke of, you guys. This was the drop, right? This is that reaccumulation zone. Okay, so it just happened and it rejected really fast. Okay, so now. The top side is still, guys, I know that I already said that high probability here of high of day, but seeing that we have this kind of thrust happening, there is a high potential here that we can actually get that 77. If we don't get 77, then I wouldn't like to hold this position overnight. So if we're in the green, 74 cents or 75 cents, I would consider liquidating here, but there is a potential recovery because the timing right now, 9:04 a.m. So it would be actually appropriate for the price action to start recovering, right? But let me see the upper time frames, right? So the daily time frame is what I want to see. Okay, yeah, so this is a massive recovery candle, very, very bullish. Okay, so closing upside of 71.04 today at 3 hours and 54 minutes would essentially validate a continuation to the upside and even beyond 77.48 for tomorrow. Okay, so this is literally the wave. It's happening right now. Okay, you guys, so don't feel like you're missing out, because the thing is that while you're facing this entry here, that's good, but there's also a resistance from it at the 99-cent zone, right? So you get that 99-cent pullback, you're entering again, 77.45. So don't feel like you're missing out, because these things retrace, and they do gain, and they retrace, and they gain. Okay, so that's literally trend trading. Okay, you guys, short-term scalps, short-term, I'm talking anywhere between 7% to 13% gains daily. Okay, you guys, so that's how you can make your own squeeze happen too. All right, you guys, so keep an eye on SONN, looking very good there. I actually need to come back and look at the ticker symbol APE. Look at this, guys. My goodness. APE looking absolutely powerful. And this is, I forgot who was talking to me about APE. And I actually told him, well, I'll show you I'm just going to be straight up with you, right? I'll just show you my entries. And so that you can see how I'm going to play it, right? I forgot where I actually had it, though. Let me see. And also, was it in my master layout? Where the heck are my lines? Where are my lines? Right? I don't see the freaking lines, guys. I don't see the lines. It was in the live. It was in the live about 2 days ago. I showed my targets, of which all 3 were reached. And the reason why I'm showing that, this is not. That's why that's not it. We're here on ticker symbol APE. I was saying that from this top side here, I expressed 3 targets, and I wish I knew where that. Let me see. Oh, yeah, I see. Yeah, I can go to the master layout. I think it's actually here. Yeah, these. Okay, so these were the targets, right? So we were up here in the price action. Literally here. This is where I drew the line, right? We were on the top side of about $1.77, and I said I'm going to start scaling into this aggressively because I can see this is a breakout play now. Okay, so the breakout play is due to this right-angled triangle. We got a huge breakout to the upside, and usually we tend to come back and test the newly converted resistance into support, which we did get right there. So we were all the way up here. And I said I'm going to start scaling in, and these are going to be my targets that I'm going to scale in on before we find the bounce from potentially here. Okay, so that's literally what happened. So I gained entry all over this. I already brought my average down like over $10, right? So this is great. Okay, so that's how I was able to determine this, guys. The power of geometrics and psychology is incredible. Okay, once you can gain some type of understanding over price action and verse that with psychology, guys, you'll become infinitely powerful. Okay, you guys. So just consider studying the rules of the markets, right? Consider studying all those things. So let me go back to the chat right here and see what's going down. Yeah, Destiny, no problem. Very happy to help, right? So now TTG saying holding SONN for 77. Oh, you got 25 cents. Nice. And TTG, what do you mean, can we break? I forgot what we were looking at for you. That was SONN, right? So SONN has a high probability of breaking 77.48 coming tomorrow or the next day. You're asking because you want to hold. I know, man. I know. You do as you will, okay? But in my personal experience, my gains are there. Reaching 10:30 a.m., 10 a.m., I'm out. Okay, so that means that I really don't like to hold positions overnight unless I have to, right? But that's particular to short-term trading. Remember, I tell you guys all the time, I'm not a long-term trader anymore. I do play swing plays, but they're very particular. But if I notice that I'm up on the day like freaking 13%, 14%, I'm out, you guys. A lot of people don't make that on the day. You know, I'm talking about normal people with normal jobs. It's hard to do that, right? It's very difficult, and that's why this trade presents such an amazing opportunity for retail. Right, so yeah, Philip saying Arca, we need a swing channel on the Discord. So the strategy plays that I put up are that's not a bad idea. But I was just gonna say that the strategy plays that I put up on the Discord are actually of every variety, right? Scalps, momentums, and swing plays. So it's all within the strategies play. But yeah, swing plays could be a very good thing to look at in the Discord because this could introduce some of the fundamental analysts to show what they're looking at, right? So whatever thesis you have or whatever ticker you're looking at could be a pretty good thing. I have to think about the rules within that though, because I know that a lot of the popular tickers are going to be the ones that are sub $5 or sub $1 even, right? So that's actually a very dangerous thing to present to newer traders, which by the way, newer traders tend to be a little more vulnerable or more susceptible into entering some type of a very speculative position, you know, so they don't understand the volatility of something under $5. It could really introduce some serious losses, right? So yeah, we have to express some concern over that, right? So no way, really, what's going on with that? So SONN, it dropped? Wait a second, am I not looking at it correctly? Let me see, 4 hour. Oh, a huge recovery, right? Nice. Man, Steak Vicious. You're looking at the shorter time frames, right? You're getting heart attacks over there? I see them. So I couldn't see it because I was looking at the daily. So you see the daily over here, right? The daily over here literally just bounced from that EMA 9 and it just came back up to the 71.55, right? So oftentimes I'm not reactive to sensitive moves like that. I just feel like I could lose that way, right? I'll lose my mind is what I'm saying. I'll lose my marbles. but anyway, you guys, so let me continue on the chat right over here. So Philip, thank you for suggesting that. I'm still thinking about it, okay? But we may have to implement some rules. But yeah, for sure, tickers $5 and up, tickers, I guess, right? Yeah, something like that. And I'm also not I don't know that I want to do that too, right? Just implement a rule. What if we just have the freedom of speech and just suggest whatever's going to be suggested, and then see where things can go, right? Because a lot of the times opportunities are within those tickers too. We just have to be very smart over what we choose. Maybe putting a disclaimer on top, like please do not take anything said here as financial advice. This is all just research, speculation, just entertainment purposes only, right? So we want to try to keep retail safe. We want to try to keep our portfolio safe. All right, so yeah, anyway, but Philip, and if I do forget, please remind me one more time because that is an incredible idea, my brother. Okay, so yeah, guys, let me look at a few tickers, by the way. So yeah, I'm gonna start, guys. I'm gonna start aggressively getting out of ticker symbol APE, and the reason why I want to do that is because I'm gonna start trading the S&P 500 micro E-minis, the futures contracts, right? So I'm going to start trading that because I know a lot of you already know that I don't have a $25,000 account, so where I can introduce unlimited trading, right? But I need more than 3 trades a week, so I'm going to go ahead and start the venture of the micro E-minis from NAS and also the S&P, right? So both of those variety, even crude oil could also be the WTI ticker, right? I'm gonna also look into that. Nat gas too, all that stuff, guys. All that stuff can actually present some serious gains as there is a levered position in futures trading, right? So not the same as options trading whatsoever. Okay, so Do not look at it as that. But yes, that is essentially my venture here. I'm trying to liquidate my Fidelity position of AMC and Ape. I'm waiting for Ape to continue on its upside, and I still see it, in fact. So this is why I'm not pulling out just yet, and that's why I averaged in. I want to try to what is it called? I want to try to strategically exit my position of AMC and Ape so that I can bring that liquidity or that capital, into the new broker. I'm not sure if I'm going to use AMP or Trade of 8, but I saw the locate fees for interactive brokers and they're kind of high, right? So I'm not sure that I'm going to stick to interactive brokers. I think that's they're a little too frothy for me, right? So when I'm able to afford a separate exchange for short positions, then I would look into either Cobra Trading or Centerpoint Securities. Those would be the brokers for short positions, as they have the lesser fees for locates, right? But anyway, let me go back and by the way, I'm not sponsored by any of that. I'm just telling you what I'm thinking. I'm just telling you what I'm doing, right? So let me go to UCAR again, right? Well, okay, good. We got a 4-hour closure upside of the range. That's positive. Okay, and now we're starting to get an uptick here. Let's see if we can get that reversal in, but this looks like it's going to turn into a freaking crazy. I mean, guys, reaching $9.20 from $6.91. Of course, I'm not suggesting a day's play there, right? This is absolutely a swing. Okay, so as I actually just recalled that I didn't state that in the description from the play that I put up last night in the Discord, right? So I was so exhausted, guys. I have been trying to get this system up and running. Man, but the system is actually running very, 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 very good. Okay, so SONM sitting at 71.47. Don't trip too much. We still have a support. That support at 69 or 68.98. Right? That's the EMA 7 on the daily time frame. Okay, so that's why I encourage you to take a look at these the upper time frames, right? Because that can show you here that we don't have to have a heart attack, right? So if you're looking at this on the 5-minute time frame, you're going to see just all this whoa, no, we're gonna lose it, and then we're gonna lose it, and then oh no, right? So it's just so much up and down and up and down and up and down, guys. In my personal strategy, I can't take that, right? So I'm gonna trust the data, I'm gonna trust my process, right? And then just kind of look at the upper time frames and look at this little candle here, just kind of like fluctuate, right, instead of it showing red candles, right? So that's sometimes the beauty of looking at upper time frames. As you know, a lot of the times the time frames that I find, or the resistances or the targets that I find, are based on monthly time frames. So I would express I guess some friendly advice, right, that looking at those upper time frames can give you some edge. Okay, so let's see. Snowdrifter saying, what time frames on the micros are you thinking? That really depends. So first of all, I don't think I'm gonna do the scalping times, like momentum times, like the 3-minute and the 5-minute, and potentially even the 1-minute. But I don't think I'm gonna reach that. I think I'm gonna do the hourly time frame for the micro e-minis, right? So I think the hourly time frame, because I want these moves to play. I noticed that a lot of the futures traders, a lot of them are not systematic. A lot of them are actually very discretionary, and I think I have an edge here to trade the futures, right? So, and I want to see if I can potentially turn. Daniel Gonzalez, what's up, man? I want to see if I can potentially turn $4,000 into. I wanna say. I hope that I can do this in maybe within a month. I'm gonna turn 4 Gs into 20 Gs. Okay, using the micro e-minis S&P 500 futures contracts. And I know that there's multipliers here, you guys. So if you're looking at every single dollar move to the upside equals like a $5 increase per contract that you own of the futures contract, right? So there are certain multipliers to keep an eye on. Also the broker fees, but there is an absolute, brilliant method. I think it was oil. I think it's every dollar equals $12 per contract. So, and I'm talking about guys, look at this. Okay. So oftentimes oftentimes I'm telling you moves of several points, right? So you would you're measuring the micros, or I'm sorry, you're measuring the futures contracts by ticks and points. Ticks being cents, points being dollars, right? So just to put it to you in very, very simplistic terms, right? But for example, like here on Ape, right? Like we were looking at, I was telling you that this can actually, move down to this target here, about 161. And from 161 to 204, right? That's already, you're looking at several ticks, right? So all of those ticks are equals like $2 or $5 every single rise, right? So you're multiplying your entry by 100-fold. So it's incredible, and that's what I think I'm going to be doing, guys. So I think I have an edge over the trade, specifically in the futures contracts. As that's going to give me the ability to trade. Oh, you know what? No way. I'm so sorry to that person that is here. I don't know that I ever looked at this. Somebody was asking me to take a look at TTOO, and I don't think I did. Right? So yeah, let's go ahead and let's go ahead and do that. That's what I'm thinking, Destiny. Maybe. So natural gas is definitely something. Anything I'm talking about. Anything, soy can be traded, right? Different kinds of seeds can be traded. Anything that is tangible can be traded in futures contracts. And get this, this is where it really gets interesting. The level 2 or the information that's coming in from the NYSE to you is absolutely showing you only what is coming in, and there is no dark pool to it. So you're looking at absolute rule following here. So if you see that I actually trade based on the rules of the trade, then someone like me introducing myself into a trade that doesn't have a dark pool, that's where I'll really shine, right? Because there's not going to be any manipulation towards the downside, like all the fuckery that you see that these institutions play on small caps or micro caps. There's none of that in futures trading. So and of course it's not there because the world goes round literally through the means of futures trading. I'm talking about supply, actual physical supply, right? So I hope so, Sam. I really do hope I can shine in that area, and I do think I have an edge for it, right? So somebody said actually that you need to be don't consider just entering futures trading, because you could really lose your ass in there. Right? So but this person was saying that, but if you are considering it, just maybe consider it when you're like a rock star at charting. And I'm thinking to myself, are you talking to me, man? Because I think I got charting down pretty good. I still have areas of weakness. I still have learning to do, right, like anyone else. But I think that I can have, I think that I can have a true edge in there. So yeah, futures trading, Indra. That's where you trade crude oil, things like gas, things like soy, orange juice, commodities. Right, you can do all kinds of stuff like that. Even tech. Right, they don't know me, the chart whisperer. Oh my goodness, yeah, guys. So I hope that I can actually grow my account there, and it's highly leveraged, right? Depending on what you're trading, I think nat gas has the biggest return, being at around $12 or $10 per point that the price goes up, right? So that's that's huge leverage, and I knowing that I do have risk management in place. Knowing that I know some charting here, I think I have an advantage over it. Okay, you guys. But yeah, consider looking into that, guys. But please know that I would really like for you not to look at it if you're not comfortable with charting just yet. Okay, so continue the studying. I'll continue putting as much content as I can out there. I'll continue streaming live, right, so that we can see how price action works together, right? So yeah, that is exactly it, Sam. That's how you find a ticker on futures trading. But there's going to be several under that, right? So it would be /NG for natural gas, and then you bring down the little arrow, and that would then show you what expiry you're going to be looking at, because futures contracts do expire at certain points. Arca, what indicators do I use the most? Well, They're literally right over here, right? So, but to be honest with you, while yes, I do use an RSI and volatility and momentum often, right? These three, those are the most typical indicators that I use. While I do that, I usually tend to stick to my leading indicators the most, and that would be price action and volume. So if I were to give you, a like which one is like, or I can't do that. Not one. I can tell you in order, like the preference. So number one is raw price action. That is my leading indicator here. This is what tells me where we're going. Okay, so aside from that, to back it would be volume, number two. Okay, so from number two would be moving averages. Okay, so if you're familiar with my style, then you'll know that I use the SMA's 10 period, the 50 period, the 100 and 200. The exponentials, I use the 21 and the 55, if not the 20 and the 50. Right, so those are the moving averages that I tend to use. Okay, sometimes I look at the EMA 7 and the EMA 9 too, but it would be moving averages as number 3. Right, then from there is the RSI with number 4. Right, and then together it's to back the upside thesis or downside thesis. The validation would come in with volatility and momentum. It would be BBWP and Stoke Mo. Okay, these are the names of the indicators right over here. So that's what I typically use. Okay, so and it doesn't really matter either, right? It's just you use what's appropriate, right? So like if you're a mechanic and you have a wrench over there that's like meant to pull out the freaking rim off of a tractor, you're not going to use that in a little Honda Accord, right? So it's not pertinent to that. So think about it like that. Think about it as your tool chest, right? So or whatever you have available, bring out what's appropriate for the type of trade that you're going to go under, right? So that's kind of how I look at it. And yeah, Sam, the monthly expiries, right? So actually the futures contracts for, I think the what is it? The micro E-mini S&P 500 June contracts are about to end. Yeah, they're about to end this in the next 8 days. So that's man, I think the ticker was /EMS 20062023 or something like that. I forgot. It's a very specific ticker. But yeah, guys, I actually am dropping the ball here. Right, we need to take a look at a couple other tickers. First of all, let's just look real fast. Okay, Ape is still testing those upsides. I'm not going to exit just yet. I still see lots of strength within this. Okay, TQQQ sitting at 39.47, still within the support levels of yesterday, right? Yesterday we came down pretty low, but still it's supporting there. The SPY is sitting at 435.23. We're consolidating. Okay, so I think that there's going to be a change or a shift in the price action starting at 10:30 for this next hour. This is usually where traders tend to end their day or rebalance, right? So this is going to be a little slow over the next hour, okay, you guys. So this is what typically happens. This is why we're able to hold a nice conversation right now, is because this is typically when the price action tends to slow down a bit, right? So anyway, let me go back to the chat, as I do know somebody asked me to take a look at something, right? I did say that I was going to look at ticker symbol TTOO, so let's do that real quick, okay, you guys. So TTOO, this is T2 Biosystems, right? So let me see the daily time frame. Let me see the overall behavior for this ticker. Okay, so it is massively oversold, right? So are we starting to get an upside? Yeah, actually, this is the consolidation period that usually happens before you start seeing a run to the upside. Okay, so let me see the 30-minute immediate short term and start to determine whether this thing has short-term moves or not. Right, so let's see here. Momentum is starting to curl to the upside, but we want the EMA 3 to curl too, or actually first. It's starting to happen, right? That's good. So if we are able to get some pressure, that means that the bottom side here, which is still introduced by the RSI, by the way, right? MACD is also showing you that it could be a little bear pressures increasing a little bit, right? But just in case you look at the MACD, that's what I'm looking at, right? So I put these tools up here too in case you are looking at other metrics. Right, the DMI, don't worry about this one just yet. I use this as a validator for the footprint model, which would be volatility versus momentum backed by DMI. Okay, so this is for statistical purposes, like mathematical probabilities with backing on psychology. Right, so now what I'm trying to say here is that If we still have a downside to look at, then there is a range to look at, right? So we could be at a floor right now, but we also could be in the discovery of one. So this would be my preference here. So the bottom side of about 731. Let's see this range. Which one would? Oh, yeah, I see it. I would have to favor the bottom side of this candle here, actually. So that would be 702 to 731 as a potential loading zone. Okay, so if that's the case, then you would see. Let me see. The break, there's already a break of market structure here. I like it. Okay, this is already creating higher highs and higher lows. Okay, this is why I'm saying that we have the potential of reaching down here, because if you start connecting the dots here, you'll start to see that there is a very clear trend line happening within that, right? Just like this. So we can come back down into this area here, validate and bounce, right? So this is it's looking not bad. And to tell you the truth, this is looking like, oh, it is right. So this is an ascending triangle. That was very hard to see. Right over here, we have clear indications of resistance, and this thing could be prepping for a break to the upside, but we need to consolidate first, right? So this is essentially what I'm looking at here, guys. So let me show you one more time. There we go. Okay, so let's see, test number 1, 2, 3. This is 4, and now we're about to try to break out on test number 5. Okay, so that's good. True breakout test is also what we want to look at. The floor is very close to being found here. Okay, so let me see if we have any. We have resistance from all these moving averages. Let me see the 8-hour moving averages to see if we have support anywhere. No, we likely won't. Yeah, it's everything is a little bearish there, but let me see if we're finding support somewhere in the upper time frames, weekly time frames, right? Maybe even 5-day. Who knows? Let's just see how creative we can get here. Let's. Oh, maybe. No, in those time frames, I'm not gonna consider anything. Okay, nope, nothing there. I'm trying to find the floor here, guys, because look at this. Okay, if you kind of look at that, man, this motorcycle outside, it can't leave the window open. So as you can see, historically speaking, we have no support down here. So what I'm trying to find is a floor from nothing. Okay, so it's hard to do that, right? It's very hard to find a floor when there isn't any previous floors, historically speaking, right? So momentum is telling us that we could be at a floor now, okay, which is why I'm saying that we have a range to kind of get long, and also seeing that the formation is trying to realize, right? So this is bullish though, okay? So upon this touchdown here, we have to evaluate our momentum, okay? So we have to see if we're going to get a nice bounce to the upside, because that 5th test breakout it's very likely actually that we can actually get that. So we'll break upside, test the top side of about 10 cents, retrace, use the EMA 55 on the 4-hour as a support alongside of the conversion of resistance into support of the top trend line. Okay, the top side targets to look at here. By the way, remember that this formation can be traded to the downside or to the upside. Okay, you guys, but in this case, since we are consolidating here, this is indicating that the price converging could be leading to a favorable upside. Okay. Now, yeah, so in this case, let's go ahead and just acquire those targets. Let's just say that we were to break out, I would say here, at about 70% to the apex of the triangle, right? The apex being here. The first target that we would look at is, since we're implying a breakout from this point here, we're looking at a target of about 1096. Okay, so that's already where I was saying that we would go to, around 10 cents, right? So now the next target would be the center of the triangle. So right at about here is where we can take the trend line. Okay, so I'm going to show you the next targets, but let me go ahead and say goodbye to my wife as she's going to work now, guys. Just a moment. All right, team. Thank you so much, everybody, for being patient. Just needed to say goodbye to my wife. She is now on her way to work, which means that we have to pull up the camera on my toddler. I want to see what he's doing, right? Let's see if he's still in his 48th dream of the night. I try to encourage at least 10 hours of sleep. Hope ideally 12. Because he's young, he needs the rest, right? So throughout the night, that's kind of what I encourage for him, and he does do it. So anyway, going back to this target, the second target to look at is from the center of the triangle, right, top side to the very bottom side, and then you apply it to that area of breakout 2, right? So then you have a target here of about $12.31. I'm sorry, $12.31, right? The next target in the last one would be particular to the very bottom side, to the top side, to the very lower end of the triangle here, right? So in this case, we would have our third bull set. Okay, so that would be indicating a price of about $14.89, almost 15 cents. Huge upside, okay? Now, how do you validate these? Because not every target should be hit, right? So let's go ahead and take into consideration the range high to about the range low with fibs. So you can see right over here that 1492 just lands shy of the 2.618 at 1546, right? If you are following me, go ahead and chart it like this, okay? So take into consideration your range top like this, right? So then you would take the psychological target and the geometrical target as a resistance range. This way you don't have to rely on just one single target, right? So now that you see that your psychological target is very close to the wick highs of these candles here and the opening and closing of these, favor that. Okay, bring it down like this. Then you have these touches right here. Okay, now you have an overall range of 1468 to 1543 as a top side potential. Okay, now the next target to look at, look how close it is to the 1.618 at 1211. Right, so that's already very curious. You're looking at 1227 versus 1211 on the 1.618. That's pretty much a golden shot, right? So now consider the prior candles as well. Okay, so in this case, you want to always make a range. Don't stick to one target, right? So, and also remember, I'm not a financial advisor. All right, do your own damn thing. But yeah, guys, let's take into consideration the fib level to the upside in this case, right? Because we would have let's see, we would have this resistance from this candle here. Let me get the averages out of the way. This resistance from this candle here, the support from that candle there, the opening of this candle here, the opening of that candle there, resistance here. That's, it's likely that we can touch the price action there. So now we have a second zone, okay? Using psychology, using price action, raw price action, and geometrics, okay? You want to do that. Try to gain confluence here, okay? Now the next target to look at is perfectly sitting at 1098, right where 1096 is at the 1.272. Okay, so that area there, let's see what side to favor. You look at all the candles back here. Try to see the relevance against the current price action, right? So or the current target, the psychological target. So let's see. This one is kind of I don't see the upside or downside, so we're just gonna have to kind of practice it, right, and see what we have. Okay, actually, there it is. So we have a resistance touch with this candle right there, right? We have another resistance touch right over there, right? So it's showing some pretty tight areas of confluence, okay? So now we have 3 targets to look at for the upside, okay, you guys? So this is literally what I'm teaching my master students. Of course, it's a little more, actually, a great deal of more detail, right? But this is, in a nutshell, this is how I trade. Right, so now that we have our psychological targets, I'm going to look at UCAR right now. Now that we have our psychological targets, then we have to start validating the upside. We're at a potential floor right now, right? So then our obvious resistances would actually land right at the 5 fib, because this is where the opening and closing of these 2 candles are against the 0.5 at 837. Okay, so that is very powerful. Okay, you guys. So if we are able to land ourselves between the 0.382 and the 0.618 Fibonacci ratios right in here, this is the golden pocket. Okay, you guys, and that's going to be, it's very curious that we have price action resisting right at that zone there. Resistance at 0.837, pull back to about 0.798, lift off. Okay, you guys, so keep an eye on TTOO. This is a good one to study. Right, you guys, but this is how I do it. All right, team. That's now that you can so you can see what I'm doing. Right, so all good. So let's look at ticker symbol. What was it? UCAR, right? Nice. Okay, so we got the entry, right? We got the very nice entry here. Price action is leading towards the upside at 7:34. What time is it? Look at the time, guys. It's 9:40. So between 9:30 and 10:30, guys, we're going to go over this every single day, okay? So we're going to go over the time frames, the shifting of the algos every single day. So join, okay? Come by, hang out, talk to the people here. We're just looking at the markets, kind of chit-chatting around. It's all good, okay, you guys? So, and this is what happens day in and day out. We've been seeing this, okay? So if you haven't joined already, just go ahead and stick around because this is what we're going to be covering every day. Right, we're gonna get the early day push, the volatility push. We're gonna look at the algo changes between that time frame that I've been speaking of every single day, so you can see how to be exposed in the markets. Okay, you guys, this is how we do it. All right, so now you can see that we clearly got here. Remember, this play was put up at 1 a.m. Pacific time, right? So this was hours and hours and hours ago. We suggested the Arca's range is always like this in neon green. Okay. The downside, the bottom side of this candle here led to 690. We were talking about a bottom of 691. Okay, if you did long the market at 691, you are presently up 6.5%. Okay, so this is looking very good. The target range number one that I'm looking at is between 745 for today, right? 745 to 763, completing a potential 10.5% gainer on the day. Okay, you guys, this is how I trade. This is exactly how I do it, guys. I put in my stop loss here. I have the zones of entry, and we have our zones of exit, right? So we want to make sure that we can prepare these plays ahead of time, so that we can execute when the time becomes relevant. Okay, you guys. So oftentimes we'll be able to look at these plays as just a day trade. That's all good, right? It's all good, but we just have to identify the time frame that we're going to trade. We're going to identify the range that we're going to enter, identify how much risk we want to put on, right? We want to rate the trade as well. How likely is this to go to the upside based on a demand zone? How likely is it to fail that demand zone? So based on those metrics, you'll be able to understand what your risk is. So if you want to put on size, right? If you want to actually put on real size, that would require an A trade, A plus trade, but those setups are not happening within this market right now as often, right? You're probably getting one, maybe two every 2 or 3 weeks, maybe even a month, right? So meaning that we're gonna have to kind of dial down the allowable portfolio entry, right? Because we don't have those A plus setups, guys. We don't want to trade the A plus allowance of the portfolio. We want to diminish that. We want to pull back a little bit, wait for the opportune moments for the actual plays that have a very natural setup for a good upside. We long the market or short the market, and then we get those gains, okay? But right now, know that the A-plus setups are not coming in as often as they would in a bull cycle, okay, you guys? So we have to make sure that we can apply those metrics and that understanding into the discipline of what you're looking at your portfolio as, right? So look at your portfolio as your workers, okay? So if you're going to have a tiny little job, you don't want to send out all your workers, all 50 of them, for a little tiny job. You're going to have a bunch of dudes sitting around doing nothing. Right. So, and in fact, you don't want, you're going to fire everyone because they're not doing anything. So you're going to lose. Right. So make sure to just use a small amount of leverage and then long the market based on those plays. OK, you guys, ticker symbol SONN. Look, but this is good. You guys remember that at I think, honestly, this is a whole 10% play. Right. But at the top side here, you're looking at a almost 8% gainer on the day. Day traders are closing at this point, guys, at about 7:45. OK. Heavier whales I'm talking about day traders, retail traders, they're already covering at this point too. You know, they don't really need to see 13% gains on the day. All they need is really, if you're entering $80,000, $100,000 on a day trade, you don't need more than 3% or 4% on the day to gain to get your wins, right? You're gonna be getting what? $1,300, $1,400 on a $10,000 entry, or a $100,000 entry. You're gonna get what, like 9 G's, 8 G's? Like what? Come on, guys! Like you really have to put yourself in those positions too. So if we have a smaller account, we have to make sure that we can compound that effect and leverage ourselves way down, because we want to make bigger plays, right? So let's keep, yeah, right. Stick Vicious saying, Lucy, reminder, of course, we need to take a look at that, right? SONN real quick. Let's see what's going down with that. So Lucy is next, okay, you guys. SONN reaching 72.48, getting very, very close to that top side, already reaching the top side of about 75.55. Remember, guys, I'm still seeing, I know I'm aggressive by saying this, but I'm still waiting for 77.48 as the top side target for today's high. Okay, so we'll see, but we have to be reactive to these things as the price action goes, okay? So, but it's following the plan very nicely. It's following the plan exactly as we said, right? So good. Anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at ticker symbol LUCY, right? So let's see if I can get that from over here, right? So LUCY, Battle, thank you. Sorry about that, my brother. So let's see what it's doing. Okay, so huge downside on LCY. I think there is what's that upside? Okay, so if we got this bottom of, if we got the low of day at 78.48, oh, that was a substantial upside. So it was a 17% jump to the price action right now. At some point, it actually jumped 24% to the upside. That's huge. Okay, so this means that there's a lot of volatility here. And let's expand that to see. Well, yeah, there is. Check it out. Critical, expansive volatility right now. We're starting to get that upside curl on the 4-hour, guys. This is powerful. Hold on. Let me see what's going on here. If we're getting that curl on the 4-hour, that means that we have exponential growth on the bi-hourly and the hourly. So here, the very, very convincing upside on the bi-hourly. Let's see the hourly. The hourly upside as well. This is why we're starting to bleed. We're starting to cascade into this, right? Upside here in the 30-minute, bleeds into the hourly, bleeds into the bi-hourly. The 4-hour starting to get that reaction to the upside from a critical oversold percentile and critical volatility. This is looking, if there's any entry here, guys, you're probably getting it in very early as we speak. The 6-hour time frame starting to react as well. Still suggesting a little bit of downside, but this could be one. Let me see. Oh, no way. Let me see the 2-hour. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so this is the 4th ladder. This is where things start getting interesting, okay? So if that is in fact the case, then this could be the floor. Okay, 78.27 could have been the floor, and we are now maybe on an upside trajectory. Okay, so if there is some type of entry here, we have to look at the micro time frames, right? 5-minute time frame. Let's see what it's doing. Damn, this guys, please don't trade because I'm saying this, okay? But entry is now. So entry is literally not, this is the inflection point. Okay, so let me see. Yeah, this is the floor. Like for this zone here, we were talking about high confluence here. Failing this area here can lead price action to about 89 cents. While it's not a big loss, I still think it's kind of a risky play there. Okay, so, but yeah, I would, in my personal strategy, I would start scaling in now because it is doing these fractals, right? You're looking at the third wave right now. Very, very likely for this to actually. Oh, wow. Okay, if we beat 98.02 within, I'd say maybe a 30-minute candle closure, even an hourly, price action would essentially slide up to 107. So, yeah, this is a very aggressive entry right now. It is definitely not conservative whatsoever, but I think that this is, and if not that target, then it would be 91.17. Okay, so 91.17 could be the very bottom side if price action even gets there. Right, so 917, or I'm sorry, 90. Man, can I get that low? Yeah, 91.17, guys. So 91.17 could be the lowest target possible, right? So, and I'm not even sure that it can reach that, but if it does, there's that secondary target that we have, right? So we'll mark it down just like this so that we can have it at least in there, right? So I know it's 91.13. It's just hard to catch that 91.17 initial. Right, so again, this is very likely the 4th wave of ladders, right? So this, in other words, these ladders are also a broadening descending wedge. Okay, so this is preparing to break out on test number 4 as well. So test number 4 of a very short-term broadening descending wedge. This is what I mean by that. It's this price action. Like, actually, I see a top side of it. This area here could be it. This red candle, right? So something along the lines of this here. We could be looking at it in a higher time frame as well. To this here. So this formation here is often something that I tend to trade, right? So as it pertains to these ladders, I'm just giving you different perspectives as to how to see what I see, right? So if that is the case, then we have test, I know that it's very sloppy what I'm doing here, but this is let me get we have test number 1, test number 2, test number 3, test number 4, and this would be the capitulation before test number 5 true breakout. Okay, so yes, I do see something brewing here, and if you look at the resistance level here at 106 on the 5-minute candle, then this becomes a relevant area of resistance at 107. So 106 to 107 resistance can happen. Check it out. We're being reactive right now. The price action is starting to react to the upside based on the floor that we found, right? So that's why I'm saying that the entry was like pretty much there. Right, so now from here, we are going to face a couple resistances, but they're temporary. Top side of the range matches the EMA 55. Price action is now moving upwards again. 96.41 could be an area, of resistance. Temporary resistance before coming back and testing the zone of about 95.60, preparing ourselves to get to 103, 104. Okay, you guys, keep an eye on that. But this is actually starting to turn very bullish. And it's starting to turn very bullish very fast. Okay, so the 4-hour time frame is essentially giving us that indication that this could very well be the floor. And 97 cents again is popping up on the 4-hour. The next relevant area of resistance would be not that 104. I'm talking about a larger day play, 122. Right. In fact, the range is between 122 to about 132. Okay, so yeah, I am implying that. So, and in fact, the formation itself is suggesting a top side of about 204. So keep an eye on this, okay, you guys. But this is looking pretty good, and you are catching it early. Okay, so from the 5-minute time frame, let's see how we're doing based on that entry that we talked about, right? So, yeah, we're still doing good. Price action is leading to the upside. We were talking about entry at about that 92.04. Or, it was the bottom side of this candle here, whatever that was, the low of 92, and currently sitting at 93.88. Okay, so it's going up good. It's already up a tick and a half. Okay, so that's awesome. 93.90. It's continuing to the upside, guys. Potential short-term retracement right at that 94 cent level. Retracement back to around 93.41. Continuation after that. Okay, you guys, so this is what I'm showing you here is literally how I would momentum trade or scalp, right? So I don't think it's time to pull out, right? Because we're talking about there's that 94. Hold for a potential resistance there, right? We would potentially be up 2.2% up on the day if we did gain entry where I said. You're in at 92.03. Good deal. Good deal, my brother. I know, man. I know you're actually a very, very avid follower of what I talk about, right? And I see you mimic it in your strategy as well, and you're doing so good, man. So, and that is the reason why. There you go, guys. Pull back at 94, right? We're at 93.90. There is the pullback here can happen again, right? To test the top side of about 93.51. We'll cover that gap and then continue on to the upside. Just know that if we fail that 93.51, potential SMA 10 touch at about 93.34 could do it too. Okay, but yeah, I don't think it's time to exit the position yet. Although if you're a $100,000 trader, you would have already covered at 2% up, right? So that's a good deal here. But price action is kind of following traditional rules here, and in fact, there could I don't have that tool. I don't have the tool just yet. Oh, very curious. Look at 94 cents was our mean, and we rejected right from it, right? So from my algo, the reversion variant. Okay, so yeah, very likely we can come back and reaccumulate before an upside continuation. All right, you guys. So yeah, very, very good stuff. Let me go back into the chat here and see what's going down. So Destiny saying, is RCRT still heading to the price target of 44 Arca? So I know that we actually started getting a continuation to the downside beyond the targets that we wanted, right? But yeah, so what you want to see here is that we're in a triangle formation, right? So we potentially created a little liquidity trap here for the bears, right? Price action immediately reacted to that, and now this is a significant jump to the upside. The price action jumping up to the upside like that has now officially pressured momentum to the upside too. So if we have increasing volatility and momentum coming in on the buy hourly, what does the 4-hour look like? Check it out. 4-hour time frame is now pivoted towards the upside. We have increasing volatility, right? We right at the resistance of the SMA 14, potentially breaking out. Check it out. Look at this, breaking out of the SMA 14 on the 4-hour. Okay, so if that's the case, if we're really looking at that, then there could be a high probability here that we're going to start the preparation for a breakout out of this candle. I want to say maybe in about an hour, or if not the hour, then we're going to potentially look at this for the next day, being tomorrow, right? So tomorrow would be Friday. And I haven't tested the days on RCRT, but if we can look at it, okay, Friday we have a green day here, right? This Friday was actually red. Let's see, Friday green day, okay. And Friday red, okay, 50-50 so far, wow. Friday red, but the thing is, this is a red day. It doesn't mean that we actually, it actually does mean it, but anyway, no, never mind. Okay, so Friday was a green day, okay, so bears are leading the way on a Friday. Green day on this Friday here, never mind, 50-50 again. Friday red day, okay, jeez, I hate that. It's literally 50-50. Okay, Friday red day again, bears are leading. Let's see this. Okay, so this Thursday. Okay, so that would be the acting Friday. It was red. Bears are leading by 2. Green day on this Friday here. Let's see. This was also a green day. Okay, bears are leading by 1. Indecision here. Okay, very interesting. And now this was a red day. It's break even. It's break even and relevant to the last week. The 14th of March. So at least a couple months of even, right? So it's going to be a 50% chance that we can get an upside tomorrow. This is where we have to validate using metrics of psychological targets and geometric targets, right? Or variety. Jeez, I can't speak right now. So Frank called out Lucy this morning. Oh, did he? That's nice. But yeah, Lucy is actually, is it still playing to what we talked about? I forgot even where the hell the damn ticker is here. Right? Yeah. Okay. Nice. It's still holding that support there. I do think that we can actually reach that bottom side there yet again. Right? FNGR holding this support right here, guys. Still looking very good. Let's see what else we have. GTII is still green on the day, man. In fact, at 95 cents, holding that top side. Let me see the daily time frame. What do we have there? Or the 12-hour time frame? What is holding it? What is actually? Oh, it's price action. It's literally being held by the low of this candle here and the opening of this candle here, right at that green box, right? The low of this candle here too. The high of this one. Okay, so yeah, it's at a relevant support right now, so that's good. And in fact, as long as we are upside of the 2.618, then that's okay. I want to take a look at also... let's see. Okay, the markets are standstill. Remember, I told you guys 9:30 to 10:30 we're gonna get a shift, but also it's very slow during these times. So, but it's okay. You know, this is usually when things get rebalanced. You start to look at what the potentials are as far as long positions or short positions. Honestly, I do see the market's pretty bullish in the present moment. Okay, so yeah, we got a slight pullback from 736 on UCAR. We're waiting for a 745 touch, maybe 763 top side of the day. Let's see. Lucy? Yeah, Lucy about to start pumping? Man, we were just looking at that, right? Yeah, there you go. You guys check it out. So this, as I was telling you, man, that floor was absolutely the entry, as that marked the inflection zone. All right, so I often don't say that. You just happen to have caught me right at that moment. But I wouldn't be saying things like that, all right? So, whales right now, they're up 3.2% on the day. That's aggressive, okay? So if we are going to reach the top side of the range here, then, and in fact, we actually didn't get the retracement we wanted, right? So this actually just continued to the upside, but we could see another relevant resistance I would say right at about 4% up at 370. At 95.74. So let me draw 95.74 resistance, right? Just like this, just so we know what's going to be the next area to kind of pull back a bit, right? So all right, whatever, 95.75. I can't get it, my goodness. But yeah, you guys, this is what I mean by scalp trading, right? Here's wow. All right, we are now up. Damn. Okay. All right, we're now up 5% on the day, right? Good deal. From the entry that we talked about, right? So good stuff. If I were to trade to this, guys, I would have already entered the market down here at 92 flat. Okay, so Sebastian, if you're looking at your position right now, expect a pullback at about 96.69, if not right now. This pullback can happen to about 95.75, but we could be in danger of actually looking at the high of day between the targets of about 96.68 and 97.01. Okay, this could be the top side of the range here before a reaccumulation event. So to be honest with you, if we did get that top side, I would be looking to close position at 5.47% up on a day and play the range from there. We can compound back in from 95.77, get a long entry here, and as I don't see this capitulating to the bottom side of the chop zone, I do think that we can actually come back and validate, and it's actually starting to happen. We're right now at 96 cents. Potential drawback to drawdown to 95.75, right? If we can get that bounce from there and essentially fulfill the top side of the range here, then that would be incredibly bullish. But this is already fair, right? It's already fair where we're at. Currently testing that top side again. Man, this thing has push. It has thrust. The 5-minute time frame, absolute bullish control zone right now on the stochastic momentum. Highly likely to continue to the upside from here. Okay, so this is this is pretty much a little bit of a slam dunk scalp, right, you guys? So trailing stop loss, if you are using a trailing stop loss, I would or a manual stop loss, I would move it to about 90 to the top side of this range here. I would move my stop loss to 95.49. So that you can make sure to not lose, right? So in this case, stop loss moved to 95.49, and while currently sitting at about almost 5% up on the day, right? So yeah, a stop loss set right there would be ideal. Just in case the price action goes against you, you pocket green in the day no matter what. This is how you secure a green day no matter what. Okay, this is risk management, guys. What you're looking at right now is live risk management, okay? So I would honestly look at it just like this. So 95.49, keep your eye on it, dude. Be sharp. We're looking at a 5-minute time frame here. You should not be distracted by anything at all, okay? So keep your eye on this, okay? So this would be your stop. This is your support level that you don't want to fail, right? But we're going to end green on the day no matter what. All right, so still pressing on that top side of the resistance at 96.50. Your portfolio should be at about 4.87% up on the day. Very nice. Okay, so expect a pullback from this area. If we're starting to notice weakness, get out, right? So as oftentimes, I know that some of the long traders would want to wait for the validation of 95.76 as a support before a continuation to the upside, right? So as I tend to be that stubborn one, I tend to wait for the support level validation before a continuation to the upside because I play longer term day trades, right? I play them for maybe, I would say, an hour long or maybe 45 minutes long. So in this case, we're talking about the span of about a 10-minute play from the point that we suggested entry, right? So 10 minutes in, this is, let's see, 15 minutes in, right? Not bad whatsoever. So the reason why we're facing rejection is, trust me, man, I'm talking about retail whales will usually pull out right at 4%, right at 3%, 5% touch. That's common. All right. And now, all right. 96.47 is the current. We're actually beating the upside now. The top side of this candle here is 96.50. We still have a little bit to go. We want to break upside of 96.50 in order for us to validate this 5-minute candle for a continuation to the upside. Okay, so okay, good. You're waiting at 96.50. Good, dude. Good, guys. Sebastian Lim is actually an analyst in the Discord, and he is also one of my master students. So please pardon me while I coach him in his play here, right? So as I did promise some mentorship to my students, right? So I just want them to see what it's like to actually trade this with scalping positioning, right? So yeah, definitely wait. You're at 96.50. And I do think we can get it, man. We're going to close this candle in 45 seconds at 46.47. That's very bullish. That means that we're closing upside of the closing value from the previous 5-day candle, which was 96.37. Okay, so keep that. Okay, so let's see. Berenson saying 96.50, new level of support. Let's see. Or what are we confirming? We are confirming. Actually, no, we're waiting for the top side of 96.68 to 97 for position liquidation, right? So right now, price action coming back to the downside is in respects to 14 seconds left, 13, 12, 11 of this 5-minute candle, which is essentially going to tell us that we can come back to 95.75, validate this support level with at least a 5-minute candle before a continuation to the upside. Okay, but remember our stop loss is set at 95.49 in the event to where price action comes back against us. It's no problem. That just means we have another opportunity to get long the market. We made 4.5% on the day. No problem. Okay, you guys. So I have not seen Tesla yet, but that's definitely something that I definitely want to look at. Okay, 185 on Ape, still holding that. I'm going to get the hell out of that as soon as humanly possible, right? Here you go, guys. We actually got stopped out of the position, coming right back into that point. 4.5% up on the day. I'm good. Right, so if you didn't move your stop loss and you're back into this area here, careful, because this is introducing a potential failure, and this can actually present a lower target to the space of about for 94.63. But if you did follow the rules, if you followed the stop loss moving, you're up 4.5. Okay, so that's good. All right, but if you're still within it, I can express some immediate short-term danger for your scalp play, right? So in this event, yeah, there you go. See, it's starting to come back down. You can see targets of about, let's see, a support touch of about 94.52 to 94.53. This is too expensive to enter the market. Get long the market if you're looking at it from 93.97. Then we can push to the upside again. All right, you guys. So that is essentially how we play it, you guys. We made a good scalp here. We got a 4.5% move to the upside based on a 5-minute scalping strategy, right? So good deal, good deal. Congratulations to you, Sebastian. Very, very lucky to have you as a part of the family. Right, you guys, UCAR looking very good. Ticker symbol LUCY. Let's see what's going down. Battle saying check volume float over one. What? Really? Oh, whoa. This thing just floored right now. Geez. Yeah, man, that's what I was telling you. Just get out of the market, right? Ugh. Damn, and we were looking for entry down here. Guys, this is why the importance of your stop loss is being moved up so you can guarantee your gains on the day is so important. Oh my goodness, man. No one could ever see this drop to literally the beginning. That's entry again. 92, right? Interesting. So on the day, right? Let's see. Where are we? Damn, 6.5 million today. Wow. That is insane. Oh my goodness in heaven. Let me see. Let me get rid of this here too. The previous day volume was 1.9 million. The one before that was a short, right? So this was the short entry at 12.96 million. So this is the biggest green volume we've had ever. Since this is already a 6.5 million at 10 a.m. That's insanity. That's a lot. That's so much. Oh my goodness, man. Thank you for having me look at that, right? So Timmy123 saying, I wish I could day trade more than 3 times a week. There are ways for you to do that, actually. Lil AR15, we're going to look at TSLA next. There are ways to get over that rule. First of all, it's kind of a Mickey Mouse, a workaround, right? So you would essentially have like a brokerage account with, say, Moomoo, you have Webull, and E-Trade or something, right? And then that way you can actually expose yourself to how many that would be 9 trades per week, right? Because you're leveraging your day trade allowance through 3 different or spreading it through 3 different brokers, right? So that's a way that you can encourage yourself to trade more. But also remember that if you're If you're looking to trade more without consistency, then that could be the wrong thing to do, right? As oftentimes I tend to paper trade, I tend to simulator trade because I like to exercise like that. I see trading like an athlete would, right? So I condition like an athlete too. So I'm often practicing. You're going to see LeBron James up in the court by himself for hours and hours a day practicing his craft, right, before the actual game. So this is essentially what you want to do as a day trader as well. You want to practice your craft. You want to expose yourself to the markets, expose yourself to the Cryptic Trader saying you're Kobe, my bro. Man, that is incredible. Thank you so much, dude. And I know Cryptic Trader is another talented trader that we have within the Masters students, man. So so many people here that are very, very talented, right? So LeBron chokes. But yeah, I guess the main principle behind that, right, is that they do practice their craft. And oftentimes you'll see them, rehearsing their ability, right? So, before the execution day. That's something that I do myself, you guys. So I will practice. I will continue, right? So real quick, we're going to look at TSLA and then we'll look. What the heck just happened, right? Hold on just a moment. Am I still streaming? Okay, good. What the heck? I thought everything stopped right now. I'm like, what happened? Jeez. So, dude, I'm about to actually, Cryptic, I'm about to start my Dash Trader account. I think I'm going to, I want to see if I can link it with AMP. But if not, I may have to stick to the freaking interactive brokers. They're really expensive. Their locate fees are terrible. So, but I already, the computer that you're seeing me stream on, this is a Windows, this is a PC. So I'm not joking, man. I'm really aggressively trying to push into that, right? So real quick before Tesla, guys, let's look at GTII. So GTII pullback coming. Okay, this is good. It's not bad, right? The reason why we're pulling back is we want to test the previous day high as a relevant support. The previous day high, yes, is one fixed value at 90 cents. But there is also a range to look at, right? So while it is that 89 or that 90 or 90.03, whatever that is, we have a range to kind of abide by, right? So that would be in respects to this low here, right? The closing value of this candle and the opening value of this candle here. So this is our current support and current demand. It would be 87.10 to 90.03. Okay, Rocket Lock, I'm sorry. I actually, I know you said hello earlier. I'm not sure if I actually recognized that, so I apologize, my friend. But good to see you here. Here we go. We're getting a bounce from that day, from the previous day high, right? That's what we want to see, right? But that's not to say that we're just going to start, to the upside from this point. We have to validate it. We have to make sure that we can close some candles there, right? So, okay, never mind. Anyway, so yeah, it's GTII. This is the natural ebb and flow. I think we're trying to validate the next support level before the next leg up, right? I was looking for 102 today. We got about $1. Not bad. But there's still a potential that we can reach that. But to be very honest with you, I'm leaning more towards we already faced the high of day at $1 today. Rocket Lock, COSM. No, I have not looked at it yet. Oh, I have. I remember. We were talking about the demand zone down here, right? So 303 to 305 was that support that we were looking for. In the event to where we fail that, then we would come back to the very, highly sought after 297 to 301 demand range. But this is essentially a healthy range to pull out of too, right? So that's nice. I think it's consolidation right now. Very likely we face the high of day today already. I don't think we're gonna move any further than 313 on the day. And the important thing is that we're still green on the day, okay? So this price action is, I hope that it can start moving the 4-hour momentum towards the upside. It's not yet there. The buy hourly is getting reactive. That means that the hourly is showing some upside. There we go. We have hourly upside and expanding volatility on the short time frame. Let's wait for this to start bleeding into the buy hourly. Then when we get that 4-hour, we can actually get that upside move, a continuation of it, right? So, hey, Arca, for Dash Trader TD, it's free and it's as fast as the execution time is as fast as interactive brokers. So you use TD most of the time over interactive, right? Because you can only have one subscription at a time, right? So, are you paying the full $250 a month, the $250, or are you not getting market data? The data package, I'm talking about everything, the overall markets. Oh, you're paying the full price, the premium. Okay, so I'm not going to do that because I actually have all of that data here in TradingView. So I probably will include OTCs and Arca and probably the NYSE. So from there, I don't know. I think I could get away with $150 because I have the data packages here on TradingView, and this is what I use for. I wish that I can execute Dash Trader through this. It would be amazing. But yeah, no way. What the hell? Are you serious? Let me see what UCAR did. Did it actually? Look at that, man. Look at that, guys. The high of day met. All right, so let's see. Did we get our target? We're shy of 1 cent, you guys. I would already just pull out manually. So this was essentially what we were talking about, right? This is Arca's range right here, 691. We got that entry, right? Price action reached to 690 today, right? Price action rejected. Came all the way to the top side of 762. Right, so I got a run battle. Thank you for checking my ticker. Love you, battle, of course, man. Very happy that we can look it over later on too, right? I know that you're gonna have that space call. So guys, I'm gonna be on a space call later on around 6 p.m. So I'll put out the invite for everybody to come in. But Stick Vicious will be the host behind that, and I will come in and talk some sense, right? So hopefully we don't get too many haters in there. So all right. So yeah, guys, very, very interesting times here. I do think that we could, I mean, this may very well be the high of day, 762. Guys, for freaking 1 cent, get out of here, man. Sometimes that happens to me all the time. I hate it. But yeah, we were talking about this bounce yesterday, guys, from 691 to 763 today, right? We already got it, damn it. Okay, and that marked a pretty nice move to the upside. That's a 10% gainer on the day. Good job. Watch out for Dirty Mail. I banned his ass. I blocked him. Oh man, that guy is a serious piece of work, man. He really thinks I'm some little guy. He really thinks I'm some little dude that he can punk around like that. He doesn't know me, man. Nobody knows what I look like, and this guy actually has the balls to talk to me like that. Like, no, dude, no. Yeah, he's mistaken my intelligence for weakness, and that's not something you do, man. That's not okay. I hate it, man. I hate it when people act like that. Calling me all kinds of names, right? His sister over there calling me a cheerleader, calling me I don't know what else, right? But as a professional, right, I should be ignoring that. I shouldn't even be talking about that freaking loser. But we're here. We're doing our damn thing, right? But that guy is just, man, you look like an S dude, actually. I oftentimes get confused. Especially when I go to El Salvador or Mexico, people look at me like if I was like, like if I was Mara, what they say, right? So, but no, man. Yeah, I do have a very aggressive appearance, but it shouldn't define how I perceive or how I go through life, right? Because my parents always say that is, they say, I consider you an intellectual, but it's just maybe you should not look so aggressive all the time. I'm like, look so aggressive? What do you mean? I've looked like this since forever. As I don't care, you guys. I think my appearance it shouldn't define. My appearance shouldn't define what I do, right? It's not like that. So, like, if you were to see me in the street, you would not have the slightest idea that I do this, right? You're 6'4", 290, and Mexican. Cryptic Trader, I always imagined you to be a big dude like that too, man. I knew you were a big teddy bear, man. I love it. But I know on the Mexican side, that teddy bear actually turns really sharp, right? It's huge aggression. So, oh my goodness, man. Yeah, it doesn't define you. You need to ensure your brain. Right, exactly, Sam. It's just some people really talk to me. He calls me like these little names, like if I was some little kid, right? And I think he may be a paid shill too. So I called him out on that. I told him, hey, bro, so you how much they paying you? $10, $15 for every reply I get? Did I make your day today? Kind of instigating, right? I shouldn't do that, guys. But, it's there, whatever. We wanted to play that game. But, yeah, but his sister over there, man, you're a cheerleader. He said, we don't need you here, right? She said, GTII is a pussy-free zone. I'm like, what? Like, how is all this sexist stuff coming out of your mouth right now, you being a woman? Like, that sucks. Stop doing that. That's, incredibly demeaning. It's just so terrible. But anyway, guys, check this out, man. This UCAR sitting right in that range. Now, man, guys, I messed up over here. Potential bull flag was being called out by a little AR-15 on Tesla. Little AR-15, yeah, I do options, my brother. I I don't practice them live because I feel like I can still get better at them, but I do. I absolutely do. Both. I don't sell them, but I do long puts and long calls. And I know that I should be hedging, and I know that I should be practicing some straggles or strangles, right? But I feel a certain edge with the ability of charting, right? So by doing that, I tend to stay delta positive, right? Because of the charting ability. So, but yes, I do. Just to put it in short, I definitely practice options often, and but I think I may actually start moving outside of that because of the futures contracts that I'm about to endeavor in, right? So that is going to present a real challenge as well. So Tesla up on the day already. Actually, is it up on the day or is it still red? No, definitely, man. 262.04. And somebody was asking me if I was still long on the 312 target. Yes, I am. In fact, I'm seeing a top side of about 314.72 to be clear. 315.59. Right around there. Or can I favor that? Let me see the top side of this candle here. That is a high of 314.67. Yeah, so 314 is essentially what I'm looking at over the span of about a week or a week and a half. There is going to be some ebb and flow from here on, though. Okay, because we do have. Let's see. You see the volatility versus momentum here on the daily. It's suggesting a downside, right? So that doesn't mean that we're going to the downside immediately. What it means is that there could be the end of a cycle from the shorter time frames downside and the start of an upside cycle in the shorter time frames to cascade into the larger ones. Okay, so you really have to kind of look at it in that manner, right? So don't look at one time frame and it's suggesting a downside. Don't rule yourself around that. You wanna always practice that domino effect, the cascading effect from the shorter time frames into the larger, right? So 30-minute time frame, we have that upside pivot, right? So this likely means that the hourly and bi-hourly are already pitched to the upside, thus introducing the new start of a cycle to the upside. Here you go. So now what we want is to see the start of critical volatility contraction or maintaining with an expansion and an upside pivot on 4 hour. Let's see if we have it. 4 hour upside starting to happen, and we're very close to critical expansion. Okay, so that signals to me that the daily time frame downside that we're looking at, that is the end of the previous downside cycle that we faced. Otherwise, or AKA, the last couple days. This. Okay, so now we're starting to reload again. We're starting to we reaccumulated, and we're starting to literally just lift the price action. I don't think we're going to see distribution from this event for at least for a short-term pullback. I guess we can see. Okay, the resistance that we're facing now is actually a gap too. Okay, so that's we're about to fill it. I mean, we've already filled it, obviously, but what I mean is that I often use previous gaps for future play. Right, so yeah, in this case, I think we can actually make a high of day to potentially 265.67, pull back to the current highs, 261, maybe to a range of about 259, reaccumulate, right? That's going to be a short distribution, but it's not going to be a lot. And then we could actually continue on to the upside. But this is overall bullish. And remember that Tesla is kind of in respects to the broader markets, it does move in sympathy to them, right? So keep your eyes on the broader markets too when evaluating these tickers, right? Because essentially tech is leading the way in risk on assets right now. Okay, so risk assets are absolutely following the broader indices, unless you have one that's going to push to the upside, like the other day Apple did. It literally outperformed the market. It pressured things to the upside. Huge capitalizations can do that. Okay, you guys, so 186 on the ape. Man, still looking okay. Very holding that 167. That's still not bad, you guys. Still have an eternity away from closing this 5-day candle, so don't worry about that bearish engulfing formation if you saw it there, right? 90 cents still being held here on GTII, which is absolutely bullish. Okay, you guys, that's definitely something that we want to encourage. Let me pull the daily time frame here, right? So I want to see what the volume today has been. So thus far, 736,000 is way above, right? So yesterday's traded volume was 802. So it's right around there. It's in the neighborhood. And in fact, it's very close to that, considering the fact that it's about 10:23 a.m. Right, so that's very that's a lot. That's a lot for GTII, considering that it hasn't been trading that. Right, this is 368 right here. This is 600, 364, 354, 316, 370. This is 386. Right, so you can see everything is averaging within the 300,000 shares being traded on a daily basis. Right, so seeing these numbers upwards of 600,000, and then especially this one here at 700,000, that's a lot, you guys. That's definitely a lot. Okay, so let me come back to the chat right here and see what's going down. Right, so SONN trading sideways. Yeah, I mean, we reached the first target of the day, right? So that's it's highly likely to play it out like that. Or I mean, it reached out it was very short of it. I still want that 77.48, but it doesn't matter what I want, right? So we're going to see what the price action can do at 10:30 a.m. So let's wait a couple of minutes to see if we can get a reaccumulation for potential upside touch of 77.48. Right now, I'm leaning on 65% or 70% sure the high of day has been introduced at 75.50. I'm sorry that it came in short from what I was talking about, right? But sometimes that's exactly what happens in the markets, right? We can only be reactive to what's presently happening. So let me come back into the chat here and see what's going down. So Sebastian Lim saying FNGR bouncing beautifully. So FNGR, yeah, right from the zone that we talked about too, right? So let me get rid of this big old box right here. And this was the support range that we were talking about, right? Because it would be in favor of the bottom side of the channel. Right, and also we were talking about creating these waves. That's why I got rid of that box, because this is a chop zone, just like this would be a chop zone, right? And this is only the third wave happening. So we had one right over here, extension. Very likely we can actually face another one and extend right in this level here. But we need to evaluate the price action as we move, right? But it's looking bullish. It's looking like it's floored. Okay, so that's what we want to see. Anyway, back to the chat here. Let's see. Samantha saying, the professor they based, A Beautiful Mind. You're the equivalent. I love that movie. I love that movie, and that's such a huge compliment. Thank you, Sam. But I promise you, I don't think I'm as brilliant as some of those people. I try to put together my imagination as far as I can test it, right? But yeah, I do appreciate that outlook. Of course, my brother. I know you asked about ticker symbol FUBO earlier today, and I apologize for not actually looking at it, right? I just want to make sure that I am on that what is it called? The NYSE ticker. So real quick, I caught 6 points on Tesla today in the AM. Dude, what? That is huge. That is a massive move. Man, I mean, Tesla is not cheap. So, and you say, Samantha, no joke, you're such an amazing person. Thank you, Sam. And Cryptic Trader saying it's cool to see the potential on these using your method. It helps my day trading since I'm only looking at $2 to $5 moves on stocks like Tesla. Dude, those moves are massive though, right? $2 to $5 moves on Tesla. That I know that we've seen higher volatility before, but still, man, that's impressive, dude. So I love it. Congratulations to you too. And yes, Ali, we'll look at ticker symbol FUBO right now. So Snowdrifter saying, can we look at edit? I think the floor is in too. Let me put it over here, and then we'll look at it right after. We'll look at it right after ticker symbol FUBO, right? So Fubo TV. And you said that was ticker symbol EDIT? EDIT. And that is, okay, NASDAQ ticker. Absolutely, man. Yeah, the indications of a floor are definitely there. Okay, so in fact, we were talking about a potential drop to around 755. We'll see that. Hold on. So let me look at FUBO. First of all, we want to take a look at the daily, right? Let's see what the overall behavior of the asset is looking like, right? So, well, it's a broadening descending wedge. Yet again, right? So this is the top side of the range here. And we are playing the breakout. Yeah, we are. We're very close to support, by the way. Okay, so just like that, and then this would be the secondary formation, right? So I honestly think it could have been. There it is. It is like this, but that's very. It's not so. That tells me that we're probably trading on a 3-day. Okay, well, the failures are a lot better there, and the resistance touches are clear as day. So we do have resistance 1, 2, 3. This looks like it touched there, but not quite. So we could be on either 4 or 5 right now, the breakout. This is indicating that there's still a little bit further of downside to look at, but if we're going to validate this, by the way, okay? So several things suggesting support or a floor being found right now, but oftentimes we tend to come back upon these breakouts that are these formations. We tend to come back to validate the newly converted resistance into support before a continuation to the upside. Okay, so in this case, we are seeing the potential of dropping to, let's see, we have 4 days and 3 hours to close this 3-day iteration. So that would be potential drop to 179. And that would be very actually confluent with the bottom side of this candle here. The opening of this candle, the closing of this one, the opening of this one, and also the top side of this one here, and the opening of the closing of this candle here. So lots of confluence there. And not only that, but I'm sure that we can actually identify some fibs there too. Let's see that potential. So price action is currently sitting at the 2 fib, and a drop to the area of about, what was I saying? I was saying about 170. Was I saying 178? Right? Check it out. One spot 272 at 177. Right, so very likely we can actually touch ourselves down there. I'm talking 177 touch, get away from that short, and then along the market, right? But we want to get validation there. Okay, while we're grabbing this 177, we want to make sure that we can at least close an hourly candle there. Okay, so let's talk some VIRI. Of course, my brother, we will. I have a ticker symbol edit to look at right after, and then we'll get into VIRI. Let's see. So, right, let's validate the downside thesis now, okay? Are we getting, what's the catalyst looking like? So we don't have any catalysts in line, at least from, we're getting MT news wires, we're getting stock news, we're getting Reuters on this. We have a lot of them, right? Benzinga also comes through the algorithm of TradingView. So we don't have anything, in line, right? So, So yeah, I'm just telling you to practice some discretion here. So let's validate the downside that we're looking for. First of all, okay, let's go to the 30-minute immediate short-term time frame and take a look at our momentum and see if we have some downside probabilities, right? So we have downside suggestion here, but please remember that we have a natural ebb and flow kind of happening, right? So I'm not saying that this is going to correct. I'm just saying that probability is there too. Sherry, I have not looked at ASST, but after edit, we'll look at VIRI and then we'll look at ASST, right? So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to just go ahead and put it up here just to, so we can keep it in mind, right? So ASST is there now. So Samantha, what's the saying? Great minds discuss ideas, average minds discuss events, small minds discuss people. Eleanor Roosevelt. Oh my goodness. Did she really say that? I think I heard that from one of my professors too. Oh my goodness. Always remember that. Sam, you are the best. Thank you so much. Real quick before we continue on ticker symbol FUBO. Where was it, bro? Here it is. Okay, here it is, you guys. So we are beating the target that we were looking for, right? Awesome. Jeez, it actually made it. Upside of 95.75. Man, that is impressive. Very, very cool. And this was we were trading this on a 5-minute, right? This was the scalp. So yeah, I like it, man. This is very cool. That is indicating a potential continuation here. Okay, so remember that I was talking about an overall topside target to 97.77. So there could be a substantial pullback from literally this point. It was 97 to about 90, almost 98 cents. Okay, so there could be a pullback in that area, as that would be the range high. The total range high. Then now that would introduce officially the preparation of breaking upside of an immediate short-term time frame ascending triangle. Okay, back to Fubo. Let's see. So we're looking for the downside on Fubo so that we can gain a potential entry, right? So it's already happening a little bit. We have downside on that 30-minute. Let's see the hourly time frame. Has it reciprocated into that? It still has an upside pivot. Bi-hourly likely has upside as well. Okay, upside pivot here, decreasing volatility though. That's interesting. There's a bearish divergence there. Okay, so we have a potential floor being found on the 4-hour. Okay, so If this is in fact suggesting that we are facing a floor, then that means that we could face a shorter time frame upside scalp opportunity before we face rejection and then come back down and capitulate to the area of about 178. Okay, so what I mean by that is that there could be, in respects to what you're looking at here in the RSI, right? You're looking at an upside pivot, but you have that SMA 14 in the way. So look at your moving averages on all time frames, okay? So in this case, 6-hour time frame is suggesting a top side of about $2 from the EMA, at the EMA 21. Let's see what we have in the 8-hour time frame too. We have 197 as a top side resistance from the moving averages, and we've already faced a resistance of the EMA 21 on the 12-hour at 198. And $2 rhyming again there. So let's see the 4-hour time frame. We have that downside there. Hold on. Let me look at the RSI one more time, and yeah, in respects to the shorter time frames, we could be facing a short-term upside, and I would honestly have to favor 199 to 201 resistance if we can reach that high, but I do believe that we could face a serious resistance touch there to gain one more wave to the downside, one more ladder. And that would be, let me block out the moving averages just like this, right? And then show you what I mean. So ladder number 1, this arguably could be number 2, right? We have ladder number 3, 4, this is 5. There could be one more and take off on 6. That's sort of like what I'm looking for, right? So usually these the ladders start to increase in volume as soon as you start reaching the test number 4. So test number 4 and on are usually the more substantial moves. Okay, so yeah, the bi-hourly time frame is also suggesting a very limited downside here on the RSI. Man, yeah, I'm not gonna say that this is easy. In fact, it's just we're so close. We're so close to this support, right? And it's only natural for us to come back when we're that close, right? So and it doesn't mean that price action can kind of like slowly move down to that area. What I'm saying here is that there also could be a flash wick to the downside that reaches 177, 178, and then immediately recovers, right? So in other words, that would be a long shakeout. So the shakeout would be in respects to pulling out longs before the price action goes to the upside, right? So it's the trickeries of the market, right? As it often happens in that manner. Okay, so yeah, Fubo, I'm definitely macro bullish on too, right? I mean, this is we're talking about when did it face this? This was actually March 2023. So if you're looking at this for long-term hold, a lot of people are, right? So investment plays, you're currently sitting literally 100% up if you gain entry at 95 cents. Right, so this is I am bullish the asset overall, right? So as people are actually trying to hold this for the long run, and I can see this in about, I would say, 3 months, maybe. A 3-month target here would play to the traditional trading rules here, and that would suggest a potential topside target of $5.42. I remember when we were there. With Fubo, right? I specifically remember charting Fubo when we were at these targets here. Okay, so I think this is a good long-term play too. And if you are looking at potential entry for investment purposes, then it's not going to matter if you're in 190 or 170, even 140, right? So you're looking at $5 plus into the next few months if we do continue a pretty bullish cycle. Right, so that's it for FUBO. Looking very good. So, Sebastian Lim, you're out. All right, good. On ticker symbol LUCY, did you get that top side that we were talking about, or where? Let's see. Yeah, we got that resistance right where we talked about, right? So we said resistance right at the top side of 97.80, right? The price action ended up reaching right at that target that we spoke of, and came back right to validate just like we said, right? So this is the natural ebb and flow, you guys. So congratulations, my brother. Very happy to have seen you take that. Okay, awesome. No, you're the legend, my bro. You did it, not me. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the next tickers, right? So let's see. Right, we were going to take a look at ticker symbol EDIT. And then ASST, and we have to talk about, EDIT, we have to talk about VIRI, then we have to talk about ASST, right? So I wanted to talk to you about this because yes, I do see the potential floor being found, right? So this could actually be waves on the 4-hour, maybe even on the bi-hourly too. No, maybe we're just gonna have to. Yeah, the 4-hour looks like the. Oh, this is already wave 4. All right, so you're looking at the right. I mean, arguably there is one here, but I don't like those, man. They have to be clear as day. They have to be obvious. All right, so this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, and this is 4, right? So is there the potential of falling any deeper? Well, we can evaluate that, okay? But we were essentially looking for a drop here to 755, particular to this range here, right? So the failure of this upside was essentially breaking a 4-hour candle beneath the target of 878, which we did get right here. This was the first closure of a 4-hour closing period. Then it continued to the downside. That's the invalidation zone. So that would naturally turn into our greatest resistance, right? So this could be marking off the point that we want to take our short-term trade to, right? So in fact, we would actually favor the top side of this wick here, right there, to that zone to the invalidation zone. So 864 to 878 is a clear area of resistance, and now we can start playing this. Okay, so let's see. 4-hour volatility versus momentum is looking pretty healthy. It has an upside here, so that's already indicating that we may have found that floor, which is very, very good. Okay, so let's see that 30-minute time frame. 30-minute time frame upside and increasing volatility ever so slightly, but it is there. Upside on the 3 exponential on the hourly. Let's see the bi-hourly. Bi-hourly is showing that upside as well. 4-hour is showing the upside. Dude, there is a high probability that we are finding the floor here. 6-hour finding a little bit of an upside, and the 8-hour is also finding the upside. Man, oh man. Okay, let me look at the RSI. Okay, all right. So with some natural pullbacks along the way up, particularly to this zone here, 814, we can come back to price action can go to 814, reject 801 test, which is the current high, and the opening values and closing values of these candles, very close to that wick low as well, right? So we can literally make our way up to that zone and then get long the asset 797 or potentially $8 flat or 801, right? So the conservative trader will wait the upside. They will wait for the rejection from 814 and the pullback to the zone of about 801. Okay, so that would be the potential entry, and then this would actually make some pretty nice moves. 839 resistance before coming back and testing 824, and then looking at this topside target. Why am I looking at this topside target, by the way? Well, if we start to look at the, let me see the daily RSI, right? One of these is showing that we have a resistance on the SMA 14, and it's actually the 8-hour time frame and was it the 6-hour too? No, the 8-hour time frame. So the 8-hour time frame shows to have, we're showing an upside pivot. I mean, ever so slightly here, right? But it's there, right? So now we have resistance at the SMA 14. In a discretionary manner, I am applying that SMA 14 resistance to this here. This is how I'm coming up with that target. So now if we have some moving averages, let's see what we have around there. So we have the SMA 200 at about 888. So just 10 cents up. So where we're looking at, right? Highly likely we can face a resistance there. Okay, so, and here on the 6-hour time frame, notice your SMA 200 within our range, and then replacing the position from the 8-hour, you have the EMA 21. Okay, so that's something that should keep in mind. So that's my upside target. So essentially, entry is around nowish, right? For ticker symbol EDIT, and I would think that, I mean, honestly, obviously the ideal entry would have been 770, and second to that would have been 786. But this is around there. Like we are facing entry right now, and then this could there's going to be natural pullbacks, like I said, right? Specifically from 830 to about 836, but then you would come back to 805. But I do think that short-term opportunity can be presented now, and the top side to that 830 target, if you were to enter 799, you're looking at about a 4% move to the upside. The top side of that range would be 4.58. The targets that I'm looking at for tomorrow, That would be upwards of, let's see, 8% to the top side of a 10% gainer on the day. Okay, so that would be great. Ticker symbol EDIT looking pretty okay. So now let me go back. Oh, TQQQ making yes. All right, we're starting, guys. Look at that. This is what we were talking about, right? 10:43. Check it out. 10:43 a.m. We're starting to get the upside on the markets. We're starting to get recovery. That's literally what I was talking to you about earlier, right? We start getting those recoveries at about 10:30 a.m. The start of it is usually at about 9:30, right? So UCAR, look at that, guys, right at our target. Absolutely perfect execution. If you did face that, look at it. 764, 763 topside target. This is essentially the range that I'm looking for a pullback. The pullback may actually happen at this. Okay, this is something that you should know. Okay, this is called an imbalance. Okay, the imbalance is actually the top side of this wick not meeting the bottom side of this wick. So that creates a little tiny gap between those two zones. Okay, so that is a fair value gap. Okay, this imbalance here could present a very strong resistance if we do reach that. But there's a reason why I'm telling you that 763 would be my topside target. But guys, this was a slam dunk play. We got it absolutely to our target. It reached 1 cent above, 1 cent below our entry. Excellent execution. 10.32% up on the day. If you did long this per the instructions that we put up in the Discord, congratulations to you. And I'm sure that Sebastian Lim got that outside, right? So where's good area to load UCAR again? So not yet. And to tell you the truth, if you're liquidating position here, the play changes entirely. So we would have to be looking at first entry at about 742, right? But this still has a little bit more room to go if it does touch, because we're at 1040 right now, right? That's usually when we start getting that up thrust in the timing. You would be looking at a top side of about 774 to 780, and then we would pull back pretty heavily to that zone of about 743. But I still see upside here on UCAR. I definitely still am kind of favoring these targets here, but those are the targets that I'm not going to present as short-term exits, because those are more gambles. The ones that we want to focus on are the traditional exits, the ones that are more likely to happen, right? The higher probability targets are the ones that we focus in on. Okay, you guys. So remember that this is a target that we based around geometric targets, right? I deleted it, but it's okay. And also prior price action, right? So you can see right over here, I'm going to get rid of the averages. You can see right over here that we had all of these touches, right? This opening of this candle here, support, all of that, and all of that kind of led to an average of about 763, and you can see the price action went to 764, right? So, but this is essentially the high of day that I was expecting. I don't know that we can move beyond this. Of course, we have that highly speculative fair value gap here. But this was essentially the zone where I felt like that would be a safe play to just get in and get out on the day. You know, good 10% gainer and be good, right? So nice. I like it, man. Thank you for calling it out. Anyway, so let's go ahead and take a look at ticker symbol VIRI, right? So we want to see what's going down. In fact, this is the zone that we were speaking about earlier. We were talking about the potential validation of the EMA 21. Why the 21 though? Well, remember that the daily time frame is where we got the silver cross, right? Right here, sorry, is where the 21 day. I'm gonna make it very clear for you, okay? So I don't want you to struggle looking at what I'm showing here. So I'm gonna show you by moving my SMAs out and leaving in only the silver cross here, right? So the EMA 21 crossing over the 55 represented by the orange line, that gives us now a new area for support. So that's what we're testing. We're testing the silver cross validity. Okay, so if that's valid, then we can continue to the upside. Now, moving further from that, guys, my mic is out. No way. I'm gonna type it in. Is my mic out? You hear it? Oh, nice. All right, good. Awesome. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. I thought I was out for a second there. Okay, thank you, Master Mike Ali. Thank you. Bad R, low volume, right? Oh, actually, I can push a little bit more, but I'm actually clipping, right? So Origin saying I'm good. Okay, good, guys. Thank you so much. That's very, very kind of you to let me know, because oftentimes I don't know this. Right. So anyway, yeah, we were talking about the SMA 21, the EMA 21. Sorry, this is essentially the validity test of the silver cross that we got back here. Another thing that we have to remember is that we recently talked about that very famous golden cross. Okay, so remember the golden cross consists of the SMA 50 crossing over the 200. So let me get rid of my custom EMAs and leave in this, right? So this is that golden cross here. And I did say that we can come back and test that golden cross when the SMA 50 reaches that 122 cent zone. Okay, so it looks like price action wants to try that. But if it does reject because the silver cross validity and we still continue to the upside, we can be subject to facing a resistance from this range here. I'm going to show you. And then that would introduce the potential of a retracement to that SMA 50, wherever it may be by that time. Okay, so this would be 184 to 190 rejection, right? So we would face that rejection just like this here, right? Face a rejection from either of these two targets. And then we can actually get a pullback and we could potentially see the SMA 50 located somewhere in this area here. I would say, I mean, this is very, there's no back test to this, okay? This is just showing you how price action works and from my perspective, how I perceive momentum, right? So I'm thinking that we can actually see the retracement back to the area of about 143, particular to this wick high here, the closing value of this candle right over here, right? And more importantly, the top side of this range. Okay, so that's where I'm looking at the SMA 50 to eventually be located. But if we're talking about daily candles here, then I mean we have to kind of measure that time too. We have to see how, like, what is the likelihood of reaching this in 2 days or 3 days or 4 days, right? So if you're looking at capitulations like this, then you essentially face the downside over the span of about 2 days. In fact, arguably 3, right? 1, 2, and 3, we got that downside. In this case, this is a multiple day downtrend. 1, 2, 3, we're already at that third one. Okay, so could there be one more? Maybe. I'm not sure. But I think there could be one more after we get a resistance from this level. Okay, and this is a unique situation because while we were getting a retracement of 3 candles here, there was not a golden cross in that time. Now we do have the golden cross, and we have to come back and test it, just like we did back here. Check it out. I'm going to show you where we did that. Okay, so first of all, let me just show you how it started working, right? We were under the SMA 50 all through this time frame here, December 2022. We started touching at the door here at January 2023. We got the inside of the SMA 50. We validated those support levels of the SMA 50 right over here, right? And that took about a week. Then we started bouncing from that SMA 50, gathering that volatility, gathering that momentum so we can push to the upside. As we started moving on the upside, we started noticing that the SMA 200 was approaching us and the SMA 50 was moving towards the upside, right? We got that cross and we got actually right before the cross, we started getting very bullish. We started noticing it, right? And then once we got it, price action essentially went up another few percent. That's usually what happens. Okay, so let me show you historically what happened by the way, it's the same catalyst from before too. The same medication or whatever the drug that they found, right? So in this case, we were below the SMA 50, right? Then here, in May, we started breaking upside of it, right? Then we started bouncing in it. We started validating that support of the SMA 50. As we started to notice that we were converging, getting the SMA 200 very close to us, we started making an upside knowing that we could be facing a golden cross right over here, right? So we broke outside of it. We got a huge upside thrust, but then what happened? We came back and validated that SMA 50 as a valid area of support before our continuation to the upside. Then we continued on to the upside. Well, the capitulation that happened here was because of the failure of the drug, right? So there was a major negative catalyst to be coming in, or that came in, sorry. And that is why the price action essentially failed. But this is historically showing what typically happens upon the breakout of the moving average strategy of a golden cross, SMA 50 over the SMA 200. And that's what I'm potentially seeing here, right? So we got that massive upside thrust as soon as we started converging these two moving averages, right? We got that validity. And in fact, that was on this candle here, the opening of this candle, top left over there. It says on the 173. So from 173 to the, I think it was what, 203 or 204, the top side, 214, sorry. That was a 23% jump right from the golden cross. Everybody got bullish. As soon as that happened, price action rallied 23%, right? And now it's pulling back. Okay, so that's absolutely understandable. But know for a fact that we could be chopping around here until the SMA 50 could be located in the more appropriate zone. The reason why I say appropriate is very specific. Okay, failing a candle. I'm talking about a daily candle closure beneath the area of $1.41 being this candle low here. That would introduce a continuation to the downside. Okay, so I am thinking that retail wants to chop around, right, so that we can get this SMA 50 to come right back into that zone of about 141, 143 to the inflection zone. Then we can use that SMA 50 and the inflection zone support as a very, very strong area of support before a continuation to the upside. Okay, so I mean, it's not rare for Viri to pull back like that. I mean, notice here, okay, this was a massive run, pulled back about 57% and then continued, right? And I'm talking about continued to the upside for an additional 208% right after that. I'm talking about within the last couple of weeks here, guys. Okay, so mind your history, mind the price action or how the behavior is within this asset, and then you'll be able to gain an edge over the behavior over this particular asset. Okay, you guys. So that's what I'm looking at for ticker symbol VIRI. I hope that I was able to kind of give you that to give you that perspective. Right, so anyway, let's go ahead and just talk about ASST, guys. I'm gonna have to leave pretty soon here. I'm streaming way beyond my time. It's particular for my son. I want to make sure that I can keep him on a schedule, right, and so that I can continue streaming here in the mornings. I'm trying to get him earlier and earlier so I can hopefully. It's just sometimes he's very difficult, right? So so I can hopefully reach 6:30 a.m. But man, sometimes I can't. It's just this guy will leave me with like 3 hours of sleep. So anyway, you guys, so ASST, I know that we've been looking at this for some time now. There's been a few times where we looked at this. Okay, so man, you know what? I'm not even gonna dwell on the upper time frames here. And the reason why I'm saying this is because this is following a very particular fractal. Okay, we're getting upside runs here in the shapes of triangles over and over and over again. Right, so the top side target that we were looking at per this pennant, which by the way served as a huge bear trap, is to the 3.618 at 294 to 301. Okay, that's still what I'm looking for ASST, but let's see. I want to, yeah. Let's see this. Ooh, okay, so if we're facing a downside in the 30-minute time frame, that means that we're ending the current we're starting the current downside cycle for the 30-minute immediate short term. But if we look at the hourly and bi-hourly, more likely the bi-hourly will have bullish control zone upside momentum. Let's see the hourly upside pivot, and then the bi-hourly. All right, about to enter the bullish control zone with critical volatility. Yeah, this is still very, very aggressively pivoted towards the upside. 4-hour time frame, getting absolutely that very, very bare minimum requirement that I have, my rule. Okay, and not only that, we're breaking upside of the SMA 14 on the RSI 4-hour time frame. This is great. This is very good. Okay, so now let's see the 6-hour time frame. It's not reactive just yet. Okay, so yeah, immediate short-term time frame pullback. This is essentially going to be the loading zone for the stragglers, right? The people who are trying to get long this ticker could see a pullback. I would say, man, probably 233. We can get very lucky if we touch back down to the 1.272 at 230. I'm not even sure that we can get down that low. but this is suggesting a continuation to the upside. We have a natural resistance zone. Okay, so I'm going to give you that resistance area right now. So that would be in respects to the 2.618 at 267 to the range high per this wick here from Wednesday, June 21st at 276, right? So if you were to long this ticker from the current moment, I'm talking about right now, then that move to the upside, which could be faced over the next day, I would say maybe tomorrow, 13% to the bottom side of the range, and that would be a 17.20% gainer on the day if you were to face that top side of 276, right? So that's a very, very awesome move. And I'm not talking about this. That's a natural pullback zone. What I'm really focused in on is actually these targets here, which would lead to about a 24.5% move to about a 27.5% move to the upside. And that is a space between 294 and 390 and 301, sorry. Okay, so I'm still very bullish this asset. The hourly time frame is aggressively entering the bullish control zone here. Huge upside on the MACD. We have DMI support, ADX, represented by the dotted white line, currently sitting at 44%. That is massive, okay? That usually when it gets to 30%, that is strong trending market to whoever is leading the upside. In this case, where the DMI Plus is leading the upside, DMI Plus, aka Bulls, green. Okay, and the bears are absolutely losing strength right now. But yeah, this is I'm still bullish the asset, guys, and I'm looking at several points to the upside. So yeah, I hope I was able to answer that question for you correctly, right? So let me just look at the broader markets, you guys. This thing is actually facing a little bit of a downside there. Let me see what the SPY is doing. SPY is moving up, right? 39.70. I really want this thing to recover because I'm actually full transparency here, right? So I have a few 3-month out calls on the TQQQ, and I'm with a strike price of $42. Okay, so that is my So I do have it. I'm close to at the money, right? So as soon as I do get that, if I move upside of 42, then that's going to be about 20 cents of gamma added to my 56 cents of delta, and I do have 0.007 vega, which is going to be 0.007 times 100 shares of the contract added per percent increment of the implied volatility. Implied volatility is low, so that means I still have a lot of room to go up. Open interest is nice, and my time decay, my theta is at 0.0007, so almost losing nothing on the day. Okay, so this is very good. Okay, you guys, just to give you my personal, the values of my contracts that I'm trading presently, right? That's essentially what I'm doing, and they're triple leveraged right now, okay? Because this is the TQQQ. Okay, so be very careful when trading this. But this is the Pro shares. This is the Ultra Pro Qs, the Nasdaq levered ETF. Okay, so be careful when trading things like this. All right. So anyway, let's. I know that somebody was asking me about FNGR2, guys, but I'm gonna have to kind of peace out here pretty soon. I definitely have to wake up my son, right? Oh yeah. The FNGR is still within the range of loading, right? We were talking about loading FNGR between 261 and 267. Price action came back down to 269. Currently above the range of loading right now. We've said 277. Price is literally at 278, right? Is it? Yeah. Price at 278. It's still looking good, guys. I definitely think that this is essentially this iteration happening over again. Okay, so FNGR is looking absolutely bullish, validating the bottom side of the channel here. We definitely have some upside to look for. Resistance potentially between 297 and 311 to be faced tomorrow. Okay, so keep an eye on that, okay, you guys? But Lucy dropped as per expected, right? So man, it met those topside targets, and then it was gone. And then it said, I'm out. As soon as we got that validation, right? Very interesting. I did say that there was going to be a substantial pullback when we faced this top side here of 97.77, right? So it went to literally that target and got the substantial pullback. Okay, so guys, watch out for this. Okay, just watch out. I know that there's There's always, you know, opportunities here, but please remember to practice with risk management, okay? Because this is, honestly, this would be the zone to start gaining entry again. Probably 88.56 to about 88.17 long this, because this would be the support area. And also, let's see, the invalidation zone would land right down here at 84.27. You don't want a 4-hour candle or even an hourly candle closing below 84 cents, because that would essentially introduce a further capitulation, maybe to 78. Okay, so, but yeah, I think that this could floor here. You know, just this is, I haven't back tested anything though, but yeah, this could floor at 88.62 and then try to reclaim the inside of the chop zone. But this is in preparation, guys. This is also potentially the shakeout before we break out of the formation. Okay, you guys. But I think, guys, I apologize. Let's see. Arca is 92, a good loading zone for Lucy again. Lucy broke 92. Yeah, that right now would be okay. Literally within this area here. But the thing is that, you know, I would honestly wait for probably an hourly candle closure, even though you would get a higher entry. That's essentially the gamble that you want to. Not a problem, Ali. Got you, my brother. I appreciate you. Okay, so yeah, that you want a validation here. You don't want the thing is that you don't want the better entry without validation, without confirmation, right? So if you're looking at an hourly minimum closure above 88.56, then that's good. You know what I mean? This is going to fluctuate around. It's fine. And if you miss the entry, it's okay. The thing is that we have to play these opportunities with risk management. Risk management would also play into waiting for the confirmation, right? So you don't want to just enter on a gamble, because that can introduce some serious losses. But guys, yeah, I think this is a pretty good place for me to leave off. I really have to get to my son. I am sorry if I actually missed your ticker. I apologize about that, right? But look at that, COSM 313, right? This is the high that we were talking about today, that we could potentially get a retracement back from, right? So nice. Everything is playing according to what we spoke of, right? I love it all, guys. Check it out. Look at UCAR. Actually beat our target, right? So went to 786. Very nice. So guys, yeah, but with that said, what's up, Sebastian? Let me know. GTII at 85. Yeah, man, literally, I was just looking at it. So insane. So, yeah. This is absolutely normal for GTII, right? We want to get that. We were talking about a potential drop to around 85, 87. We're at 85.01, which is what? The bottom side of the wedge, right? So the wedge would be the support level. Another thing that we need to keep in mind is that the SMA 10 is located right there too at 82.28. We could go down. A wick can touch down to that zone, right? But it's okay. This is still fine. As it's moving per the traditional trading rules. Okay, you guys, but I'll try to release another video on GTII tonight. I'll try to put in some plays together for us. The Bless saying, great stream as usual. You guys, thank you so much. And yes, Samantha, thank you for everything you do for me. Of course, I will make sure to give him a big old hug. Cryptic Trader, love you, buddy. I'll catch you soon, okay, you guys? So, Ali, I appreciate you coming by. Sebastian Lim, moderator, Samantha, you guys mean so much to me. Thank you so much. So, Badar, good to see you here. Gary Medill, you're very welcome. Sherry, you're very welcome. And Steve, if we didn't look at FNGR, I'm sorry about that, but we will continue to evaluate it, right? Just please remember that this is the entry zones that we're looking for right in here, right? We're actually already getting that upside from it. Very nice price action here, okay, you guys? But all right, so Patrick, thank you for coming by too. The war goes. I appreciate you. I know that we didn't actually. Oh, GTBP, you got stopped out for a bit. Still looking good. Oh man, I'm sorry about that. I'll put together a video on this today, okay? But yeah, just to put it in short, the invalidation zone is actually located at 26.27. We're nowhere near that. I think we're still okay, but we'll look at this, okay? What you want to focus in on is the daily RSI. Look at this. We have a temporary downside here. Could be in correlation with the SMA 10 at 30.76 to the range of about 29.53. Okay, buddy. So we'll look at that potential entry to get long the market and then take this to new highs. Okay. So yeah, I'm still looking okay with GTBP. This is in preparation of breaking out of a very, very large macro time frame broadening descending wedge. Okay. So this is going to take some time, but it's very good. All right, team. So I should put a UCAR video. I'm going to try my best to do that. Hasta luego, vato loco. That's right, my bro. Appreciate you, man. So with that said, guys, I wish you all very well. A very good night. So thank you, Arca. Mr. UCAR Play joined the Discord today. Thank you for joining, my friend. I hope that we can provide you with some nice information there, right? Some educational content. But yeah, you guys, I really do have to get to my little guy, right? So GT, yeah, that's definitely coming out tonight, Samantha, for sure. I got to keep up with that one, right? So yeah, you guys, thank you for everything, right? I'll keep you all updated. But with that said, I wish you well, a very good rest of your day, and I will catch you at the Bell Mañana team. Adios, guys. You got it, Snowdrifter. Love you, buddy.